Hello, everyone. It is Thursday. You know what that means? It is tips, tricks, tutorial time. And that just means I get to hang out with y'all. Very excited about this. Wait a second. What is this? What is this? Who's texting me right now? Hello, Dutch Can Jam. Hello to Vea. Hello, all of you. Yes. So, Daniel Tall is talking smack about me over on Twitter, which was just the alert that came in right now to be like, hey. So he is apparently answering the question of today's live stream, which is, do I have to commit to a niche on YouTube or, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, rest in peace. You guys know that Periscope is retiring this month. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when, but it is retiring this month. Hello to Samantha Wood. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that y'all are here. It's Via, unless you're saying it's Vea, because VE could be Ve or V, but hello to everyone. You can correct me. All right, so it's Thursday. So the very first thing we have to do off the bat is ask the question, the ever important question. See, when you write VE like that, though, I don't know if it's V or Ve. That's not helping me phonetically. Give me something that's like, help me more, because my reading comprehension is not helping me in this situation here. Hello to Dr. Elo. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. The second V or Ve. Okay, so we're going to go with Ve. It's Ve. Vea. Vea is in the house, everyone. Vea is in the house. The ever important question, which is, what's in your cup? This is where I take the time to ask you, what are you drinking today? Could be water, could be adult water, could be swamp water. I don't know. You let me know. What are you drinking right now? What are you drinking? Kombucha's in the house. Hey, how are you? All right, here's something. Okay, Vey, if I have to go through 10 minutes of like actually trying to figure out how to pronounce your name, like, I'm not coming at you specifically. I'm saying, like, do you have to have this talk with every time everyone comes to your channel? Because that's harder. If people have a very hard time, then you should give them an easier time phonetically in your channel, because they're always going to get it wrong. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth looking at, because if 100% of the time you're ready to have the conversation with people about how your name is pronounced or how it's not how it looks on the screen, then, and that's a hill you want to die on, then absolutely. But maybe if you want to make it easier on yourself and on your viewers and everyone else, either throw in a sounds kind of like, or maybe change your name. Okay. But no. Do what you want. A flat rosé, 0 out of 10, do not recommend, but I need to finish the bottle. You know, sometimes when I get to the end of the bottle and I forget sometimes, because tell me if this happens to you, because like no one else really in the house like drinks wine, so I drink like a glass at a time. So if I don't get to the rest of the red wine or whatever it is, and then it just goes bad, you know? So I'm like, sometimes I'll throw that sucker in with like a beef pot roast type thing with all my veggies. That is another way that I have sometimes managed to like finish the end of the bottle. So, all right, what's in your cup, people? What is in your cup? Oh, Vey says, does anyone have any suggestions? I'm a video game YouTuber. Because honestly, that name is not doing you any favors, all right? But today we are talking, do I have to niche on YouTube? Daniel Batal has said on Twitter that apparently he does. I should go respond to him as well. Let me do that while I'm thinking about it. Now, I would love to know if you guys and gals out there are watching and listening. 1, what do you think the answer is? And 2, if you think you have niched, I want you to put in the comments what your niche is, what you think your niche is, okay? Okay. I see you, Daniel. Come talk to me about it. Live on air. Happening now. Let's see if he takes the bait. I don't think he will. He's also on Eastern time, so. Okay. All right. So we've got video gaming, We've got, oh, chamomile tea. Yes. Sage Junkie coming from over at Clubhouse. Yeah. Vay. And then Fallon and Fam Shorts is here. Coding. Okay. Awesome. You are helping businesses and individuals get comfortable around live streaming. So that's more of a mission statement or like your elevator pitch about what your channel is. So technically your Sam's Life with a Husky. Yeah. Oh, Samantha. That's you, isn't it? That's did you switch accounts? That's Sam Woods, right? Samantha Woods. You're tricking me. You're tricking me here. What are we talking about? That's more your mission statement slash stuff versus the actual niche you're in, which is actually like how to and technology, right? Yeah, live streaming is your niche. Awesome. Got it. Awesome. Love that for you. Sam's Life with a Husky. Yeah, live streaming is your niche. Absolutely. Okay, let's mindful living for women in midlife. Okay, so Sage Junkie, I'm gonna pick on you for a minute because I think we were just in the Clubhouse room. Everything I do, I'm kind of like a jerk, but I do it with love, right? So mindful living for women in midlife. So I don't know what that means. And I think you're falling into sometimes the trap that a lot of people do, which is you're trying to be clever versus being very clear. And there's a big difference that happens when that happens. Okay. So being clever is when you use beautifully strung together words, which is something like yours. I help women in midlife do mindful living. Okay. Being clear is something like, is not that, because I don't know what mindful living means. Does that mean decluttering? Does that mean meditation? Does that mean practicing the art of gratitude? Does that mean like what does mindful living mean? You know what I mean? So mindful living could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. So if you have to have that layer of ambiguity in what it is that you're doing or who it is that you're reaching, it's going to be really, really difficult to, like, you're in an elevator with me. We have 15 seconds between floors, unless you're on Grey's Anatomy, because I don't know what happens, because, like, you're going from, like, the Space Needle down to, like, the very top, because it's the longest elevator ride I've ever seen, but I digress. If you can't tell me what mindful living for women in your midlife actually means within that 10 seconds, then it's too long. What does that mean? So tell me what that means. So it says hormones, nutrition, personal development for women in menopause whose kids have left home. So if I'm a woman in menopause who doesn't have, or who still has kids who are at home, I can't watch your channel. Or if I'm, a person who doesn't actually go through menopause because I've had stuff happen to me, do I not fit that channel? Or hormones, nutrition, personal development for women in menopause whose kids have left home. So, I mean, empty nesters is kind of, yes, absolutely a thing, but talking about hormones, nutrition, and personal development for those women. Yeah, I mean, but that is not the same as mindful, whatever it was, mindful living. So again, when it gets really like clever and you use floofy words and you start throwing around that stuff, like, you just aren't clear. And when you aren't clear, it's harder for people to know if they are vibing with that or if that's exactly the channel for them that they want to tune into. So, and I'm not picking on you, and I think you know that. I want to show as an illustrative example when I ask people, what is your niche right now? It's almost always the case that people aren't actually in niche sometimes that they think they are, or they say they're in a niche, but it's actually not a niche. So someone, we were in the Clubhouse room today, was saying, I'm in fitness. And I'm like, oh God, if I hear that one more time. Fitness is not technically a niche. You know what I'm saying? Like, fitness is like, yes, an entire genre or something, but like, it's like saying, I make movies. And you're like, what does that mean? Horror movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, documentaries, are you talking about like comedies, romantic comedies? Like, all of those are technically filmmakers. They all make movies, you know what I mean? So you say, I'm a movie maker, a niche of movie making, but it's like, there are cinematographers, there are lighting people, there are, the people who work in sound. Guess what? They're all movie makers. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a niche. A niche is like like fitness is not a niche, because I use this example when we were in the room. Okay, so I am Bella Caroli, and I'm helping Nadia Comaneci like get prepared for the Olympics. Okay, she's a gymnast who probably is prepubescent at the time when I first meet her, but like, in a sport where people age out at the age of like 15 or something like that, is not the same as I'm trying out for Mr. Olympia, all natural, like no protein or like no hormones bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like, but they're both fitness. Just like even if you were gymnastics, a little gym, that you take your toddler to and like runs around with like the mats with the person, is not the same as going to the Olympic Training Center and getting someone ready for the Olympics. But they're both in gymnastics, but they're both under fitness, but they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a true niche. That's not how it works. Okay. So I want to be very clear when people think, he says he's in Clubhouse with Benjamin. I'm going to say, no problemo. Was just offering. Since you mentioned it. Okay, I'm going to respond to Daniel. I'll close out that window. Now I know I don't need to watch that. Okay, so. Oh, Maddie on the mix is here. Sad I gotta go, but this was very helpful already in 5 minutes of listening. Aw, my squirrel brain just for you. I miss you and your bow ties. Hope you had a nice birthday. I miss your face. I am looking forward to the time when we can go back to Cactus and enjoy a nice birthday caramel banana brulee with coconut ice cream dessert together. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. See you later. So, did we hear some other niches? Did we have some niches here? We've got Liz. What happened? What happened to your message? It got hidden. What happened? I don't know what your message was. That like, hey, what's up? Viper, the man about tech, is in this. Hey, Viper, you know what? You have been such a nice host and had me on your channel multiple times. I am extending an invitation to you if you have time, if you want to come in and talk about niching. Let me know, and if you're down, and I will toss you an invitation, and you're more than welcome to come in. So we're talking about YouTube niching. Do you need to pick a niche? You know what I'm saying, Mr. Man About Tech and Apple and all that stuff, right? So again, when we talk about do I have to have a niche, there are a couple different schools of thoughts that you can do when you are going through YouTube. One is the spaghetti against the wall method. And this is valid and it works for a lot of people. And it is just literally just as it sounds. You toss everything in the kitchen sink at something and you give it a shot and you see, do I like this? Does this feel good? Do I like a particular topic? Does some video like actually just pop? Something like that. I think I see an affirmative. So Viper, I am going to find the link and I'm going to send it to you via Twitter DM. So check your Twitter DM in just a second here and I will send that over to you. So the second method, besides the spaghetti method, which is going to be considered breadth, right, is going to be depth. So that is the difference in going deep into one particular type of subject and doing a lot of it and becoming the expert in one type of thing. So you can choose to go either. Either are totally valid ways to go about a YouTube start. And there are going to be pros and cons about niching down too early, niching down too late, and we're going to talk about that because I am someone who niched down way later into having a YouTube channel, and it definitely comes with some problems. It comes with some problems. So, alrighty. So Viper, I've sent that link out, so you just let me know when you're ready, and then when you come into the green room, I'll see you in a second. I'll tell you about it. So, I would love to know, for those of you in the audience, did you guys decide to go spaghetti against the wall method, or did you decide to go deep down into one particular category? Let me know. Which way did you go? Let me know. So, personal story, when I started this channel, it was a variety channel, and as many people always try and tell you, don't do a variety channel, don't do a variety channel, don't do a variety channel. I was like, yeah, you can't tell me what to do. I'm the boss of me. Yeah, that actually sounds pinpoint exactly like me. Okay. And I was of the mind, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have a playlist for one type of category and a playlist for another thing. And I'm going to do whatever I want across all these different channels. So back in the day, you would see, if you went through my different category banner things, it would have said life hacks, tech tips, and beauty videos. Because one day, of course, you want to know what I got in my BoxyCharm / Ipsy beauty box. And then the next you want to learn about iMovie. And then the next you want to learn about how to paint the bottoms of your shoes to look like Louboutins or repair like the red paint that scrapes off. God, guys, like just saying it out loud is embarrassing. But I did. I spent the first couple years of my channel just being like, this is my channel. And then I tried to do like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Every Friday, I'm going to toss in this thing. I'm going to call it Foundation Friday because I cannot seem to ever find a foundation that matches me or a black eyeliner that I really, really love. Those are like the two hardest things for, I think, anyone to find. But I'm particularly bad at foundation matching. That notwithstanding, I decided every Friday I was going to test a new foundation and just like talk about it on my channel. And then the next video on Sunday I would put out was like how to do something in iMovie because these totally make sense. I even tried to go so far at some point to be like, okay, so I'm going to try and do this stuff with beauty, and then what I'll do is I'll show you how to do an overlay on like video, but I'll use a makeup product so that like the people who are only here for makeup videos are still kind of interested. Do you think that was actually the case? It was not the case that people were still interested. I'll tell you that right there. But I am telling you these things from a position of like, y'all don't do what I have done. Don't do it. In fact, there is an entire Thursday live stream where I tell you all about sort of lessons that I've learned in YouTube and things I would not do again. It was the New Year's special because it was like a new year, new me type thing, and learn from my mistakes, including some other mistakes I've made. So if you're interested in that, go watch that video. I think it's a pretty good one. But let me hear what people are saying. They says, I enjoy random crap. Dr. Elo is just laughing at me. Thank you for that. I'll drink to that. Dutch Can Jam says, I totally hear you. Variety, random content playlist for this and that. Facepalm. And then Adrian Fury Foundation. Are you saying that Adrian Fury is your favorite foundation? I don't know what you're saying, Liz. I don't know what you're saying. Okay. What happened to Viper? Is he still coming on? Viper, if you're out there, I gave you the link, man. It's on you. Okay? So, here's the thing. Is if you decide to go into a particular niche and go like real deep down, and you can then be branded as one type of thing. So let's just say, for example, you are Janelle Vangirl. I'm sorry, I don't know her last name. Vangirl came on the scene, right? And the fact that everyone knows her as Vangirl, I believe she had a few videos where she was telling us about her van life. How do I take a shower? Where do I go to the bathroom? Here's a tour of my van, all this stuff, right? And then I think at some point her van was parked someplace, and then she was maybe doing a new van or upgrading to another van, something. I'm not sure exactly what it was. If you were, let's say, Vangirl, and I'm not saying this happened to her or not happened to her on the channel, if you decided then at that point to say, you know what I really want to make videos on, oh, I have a guest. Viper's here. I'm going to assign you a spot real quick here, and give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come in. Bum, 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 bum. Awesome. All right, so let me get into a scene where I have two people. Let me just make sure. Oh, hopefully my scenes are still set up. Hopefully. Let's see. Let's see. And we're going to add you to the right. Welcome to the show, Viper. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Doing well. This is weird. I'm not seeing you in the dark black, matte black sweatshirt. It's the light gray one. Like,
right. Mm-hmm.
It's messing with my mind a little bit. Like, what? What? Okay, so first of all, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we will keep going with this story on this journey.
Woo! You want me to introduce myself? You know how that goes, right? You know what happens.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Everyone, and at some point, if he starts yelling at you, like, he's gonna do that and then pretend to fly, and then your eardrums are gonna be blown out. So don't say you weren't warned. So just be prepared.
Y'all been warned. Y'all have been warned. She knows what's up. But...
Like,
right,
loud noises incoming, warning. You've been warned.
Y'all crazy. Woo! Okay, so what's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and I make tech content on YouTube, primarily about Apple and things happening in and around the Apple space. Been doing it for 3 years now. I do videos, I do live streams, I have a podcast, and now we have the voice apps on the horizon. So I'm on the voice app, so I do all of the things basically.
All the things. All the things. Okay, that wasn't that loud. All right. Maybe our Viper's chilling out.
Gotta say something for tomorrow night.
Oh, yep. Okay, so we were talking about niching today. And so one of the things I was just saying is if you go too far down a path, let's say you are Janelle Van Girl, and all of your content is based around van life and that whole thing. She's actually probably a poor example to use because people already fell in love with her because she was cute and her snake. So she could talk about other things besides van life. But that notwithstanding, let's just say that's your channel. If one day Janelle Vangirl decided what she wanted to do was talk to you guys about hip hop dancing and her journey to become the next person on Hamilton thing, that would not be exactly what her audience signed up for / was expecting / would probably tune out for, right? Because maybe a lot of the people tuning in are if van life is going to be sometimes about minimalism and traveling, and it's not going to be about spending very, very huge gross amounts of money on Broadway tickets to see a show, it just may not be the same audience. It does not compute, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the point that I'm making about also then becoming so niche down that you become almost trapped inside of a box and feeling like you can't break out of the type of content that you're known for / then moving into what you do want to make. So there are definitely some things we can talk about when it comes to how do you pivot niches, how do you, when you know that you want to switch, that's a whole other thing. But I'm saying at the beginning, you can I was saying you can have two different methods. One, you can do the spaghetti against the wall method and you can just try out a lot of stuff, or you can decide to go deep on one subject. And so I don't know how you feel about that. If you have advice for people or any personal stories that you would like to relate to your own life.
So it's funny because, as you know, Shelly, I spend a lot of time on Clubhouse and this question gets asked over and over again in the YouTube room. And what the hell just happened?
That was me. I thought I was going into the crop shop, but something has broken. So I'm going to keep playing with it and you keep talking. I'm going to see if I can figure it out on the fly.
I'm like, did it break?
Nope.
Okay, you're still in the building. So as I was saying, I get asked the question a lot when I'm in these YouTube Clubhouse rooms. So I think it's kind of different depending on what stage of your creative journey that you're on. If you're first starting out, you can practically make...
I did it. Okay, continue.
Stop it. Quit messing with stuff.
You can't tell me what to do. This is my channel. This is not Friday Night Vipe. This is the Shelly Show. So I will mess with all the angles I want to.
I know where you tweet.
Continue.
Now, what was I saying? So if you're first starting out, you can pretty much post content about whatever you want because you don't have a niche yet. You're still trying to find a niche. So in the beginning, you can do variety content because you're still trying to find your identity. And you should do all of the things because you need to figure out what you're most passionate about, while at the same time figuring out what the audience wants from you most or what they resonate with most. So when you're first starting your creative journey, do everything, post whatever you want, have fun with it. But once you make those first 50 to 60 videos, that is when you want to go to your analytics. You want to look at and see which videos the audience is responding to the most. Try to figure out if that lines up with what you want to do and things like that. And then you can make data-driven decisions on where to take your channel or creative journey next. So I think the more data you have, the better decision that you can make and determination of which direction to take your channel and things like that. So again, in the beginning, you don't really have to niche down because you're still trying to find your identity. But Once you make those first 50 to 60 videos and you have data, then you should use the data to figure out where to make your next move.
I would agree with that. So I think one thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration is that YouTube is not always about what you want to share with people. Mm-hmm. YouTube is really sometimes at the heart of it, it's about what people want to consume from you. And YouTube analytics are going to show you more often than not what it is that people want from you, want more of or want less of. And a lot of people want to fight against that. And that's your prerogative because you're like, it's my channel and I can make videos about whatever I want. I'm like, yeah, you can, Susie. But it doesn't mean that people want to watch it. So, I mean, that's just the cold hard truth with that. Like, and some people, and here's the thing about niching as well. Some people think that it has to be the thing that they're most passionate about. And I'm going to say passion is great, but sometimes the people who find success are in a couple of different buckets as well. One, it could just be something that you are very skilled at talking about. You don't even have to be that passionate about it, but if you know everything about it and you know the ins and outs and you can respond to people with facts or data or whatever, sometimes they don't care if your personality isn't there. Like it just doesn't matter because if it's a fact-driven type of informational type channel. The other thing is sometimes people will go heads down into a niche that even that they may not be that passionate about, but it's one that they know well or one they can make the most money at. And if they can make money, then they can buy themselves later financial freedom to then go do all of those like things that really drive their souls from the inside. You know what I'm saying? So people go work their job and they make all this money and then they decide to go tripping through Africa and whatever it is, and then they show you that. But the first thing they do is launch a whatever channel about something very specific so that they can make money. So, I mean, these are all valid different, and these are all paths for people. And it doesn't necessarily mean one is right or wrong. They're just different paths. Would you agree?
Definitely. I mean, again, when you're first starting out, make all the things because, as you said, Shelly, you have to find your path. But once you find your path and once you figure out what the audience wants from you, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, you have to give the audience what they want from you because that's how you grow. But if you don't care about growing and you only care about yourself, then do whatever the hell you want.
Yep. And that's so someone else was in Clubhouse tonight and they said, I want to grow. And then they said the next word, fast. And I said, okay, if you want to grow fast, then you go for depth. If you just want to grow and have your own community and you don't care about the number or how fast you grow, then make a variety channel from the very beginning with all of these multi-passionate things that you want to talk about, right? Because all these people are like, oh, I'm so multi-passionate. I'm like, listen, Susie, no, you're not. You're just bad at commitment. Just pick something. Just pick something, you know, like make a Trello board or make a Google sheet and then talk about all these, you know, list out all these so-called great ideas that you have. Just make a list. And if like, you're gonna look at one of those lists and be like, dude, I like this list a lot. That's the one you go with, or that's the one you start with first. No one is saying that you're beholden to only ever make one YouTube channel in your entire life. You have multiple YouTube channels. I have multiple YouTube channels. There is no reason that you can't if you want to do that, but I'm saying that it's not always the smartest thing to have all of those things on one channel. And I think a lot of the time, until you're well established on one channel, you shouldn't be breaking out and doing a whole bunch of things like 10% of your ass. Whatever you do, you should do it with your whole ass. It should be whole assedly.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah. So what is your niche? And tell us about your story because you first decided as Man About Tech and then it was Man About Apple and then it was like, you know, like different things and then it was live streaming and then a second channel. So tell us a little bit about that and how you decided to get to where you are now.
So I, in the beginning, I mean, obviously I love tech, so I started making tech videos, but I was making tech videos about all of the things. I was making tech videos about Apple, Samsung, Google, everything. But the channel was growing kind of slow, and I was like, man, there are other people that had like started around the same time I started, and they were blowing by me in sub count, and I'm just like, wow, why is everybody else like blowing by me, but I'm not seeing the growth? So as I was trying to figure out what was going on, I was studying other people and what they were doing. The one thing that kept occurring was that everybody had kind of picked a lane. They kind of picked like an area of expertise that they were making content about. So I'm like, you know what? at the beginning of 2020, I had decided that I'm going to niche down and do only Apple content or mostly Apple content. Well, that's what I did in 2020. So I started making videos mostly about Apple. So started seeing some results with that. Kind of still doing that, but definitely there was some growth there in 2020 more than I had in 2019. But yeah, that's how I kind of decided to start making Apple content because that's the thing that I'm most passionate about and that I have most knowledge about. Since I prefer to use Apple products and I have technical expertise about how they work and things like that, I decided to make that my subject area of expertise. So yeah, that's what I've been doing and it's been working.
I was gonna say, did you decide to do that switch because the analytics told you so, or just because you, in your heart of hearts, you were like, "This is it. This is my baby."
Well, it's kind of funny. Um, Before I decided to make the switch, I have went back and I looked at my analytics, but it really was kind of inconclusive. I mean, the funny thing is, before I made the decision, I was mostly doing Apple videos anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
I was already kind of on a path, but not quite. But I had more to your point. I had just made a decision, like, you know what, this is the thing that you're most passionate about. This is the thing that you have the most knowledge and expertise about. So let's go ahead and go down this road. So I went down that road, been driving down that road ever since, and it's been good.
Here I go again on my own. And here's the thing: is like one thing that you already said is like a lot of the people that are kind of in the group, in the niche, in this creators realm of people that we talk to. A lot of them did pick a lane, right? El Jefe picked, headphones, and some people have picked like apps, and some people, I mean, have picked editing, and Renee Ritchie has picked all things Apple, or so there are definite people that come to mind when you think of specific niches. And I think that one of the things that people forget are like this theory or kind of mantra of having a specialist type of field versus having a very generalist type of view. And so if you think about like, I've used this example before, but if you were trying to have LASIK eye surgery, would you want to go to a place that only does laser eye surgery and lasers people's eyeballs all day long from 9 to 5? Or would you like to go to a general, family medicine doctor who has done it a couple of times in their career, but really can also do things like fix a broken bone and, give you some sort of information about a sprained knee, and then next week about an ankle or like some sort of hip injury? Like, if you're going to trust your eyeballs to a doctor, which one do you want to go to? Family medicine, who is like, could do that, has talked about it once in the past, or a place that only specializes in that? And a lot of the time too, when you find a place that also specializes in that, you have a oh my god, I hate myself. I was gonna say a specific set of eyeballs looking at your content for the ophthalmologist like / LASIK person. Wow. Okay, so when you have a specific niche, such as lasering people's eyeballs, you have a specific set of eyeballs literally focused on you. So when you have that type of attention, that is also can be weaponized almost as potential for brands and sponsorships for things like, I don't know, sunglasses or whatever it is versus something else versus another, right? So people can pay a premium price for channels that are positioned with authority versus a generalist. I don't know. What do you think of that?
I mean, you brought up a good example about which doctor to go to. Do you want to go to the doctor that's trying to do everything, or do you don't want to go to the doctor that is specialized in LASIK eye surgery? I definitely want to go to the doctor that is specialized and done like hundreds of LASIK eye surgery, so it's like second nature to them. So yeah, it works the same way with YouTube. I kind of make the analogy all the time about Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. Sure, Starbucks sells pastries and other things like that, but chances are, if you're walking into a Starbucks, you are walking in there for a coffee or a latte or whatever. If you're walking into a Dunkin' Donuts, yeah, they sell breakfast and other things, but if you're walking into a Dunkin', you're probably going to get a donut. So once you become known for something, that is how you realize your full potential. And then once you become known for that something, then you can maybe think about branching off and doing other things. But you got to become known for something first, something that people can rely on you for. And then once you achieve that in the space, then you can maybe experiment and do other things.
Yeah, let's not forget that Starbucks did not start selling quiche bites and, Christmas tree ornaments. What they started with was roasting beans. They were a roastery. You would go and I love that you brought up Starbucks because I know, one, that you're addicted to Starbucks, but two, because it is, from the birthplace in Seattle where I happen to be. But when you think about it, Starbucks in its day, you couldn't even sit at a Starbucks and have a cup of coffee. You could go there and get coffee beans to take home to make a cup of coffee. The fact that they went a long time roasting coffee beans, never having a place where you could actually drink and sample their own coffee, is already telling to what it is now. We're talking about the evolution of a company, a brand, a whatever, and now you joke that you can't even cross the street without seeing another Starbucks. But it started as a place where the only thing you could do is go there, pick up coffee beans, and go home. Okay, now you can spend an entire day there, and there are some, like in Seattle and other places, where you can also then, after hours, you can get like mac and cheese, and you can get like bacon wrapped dates, and you can get like a glass of Prosecco. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get all this stuff now. You couldn't when it first opened, but over time, it became that thing, right? And that's the thing is, once you become known for something, whether it was coffee, and then it became like, oh, let's grind this coffee. Oh, let's actually give you a cup of coffee while you're here. Now we're known for coffee. Oh, we're going to throw in like these espresso drinks. We're going to do all this other stuff. And then we're going to bring in food. And you can add things into the mix as you get known for things, but usually not at the very beginning.
Indeed, you are correct.
Thoughts?
And that's how brands become the brands they are today, because they have their origin story and they become known for whatever it is that they become known for. And then they become the big icons that we know and love today.
Right? Okay. And now we got our very first super chat. So thank you to Alan Osborne. We're going to play our super chat song. 1 second. 1 second. Here we go. And we're going to celebrate that. So I think when this happens, you may or may not still be on screen. So let me see if I can pick a song, because I'll make you boogie with me. And I'll see if I can get my overlay to work. It may or may not work. Doesn't always work. Here we go. Positronic power. And I'm going to throw in our dance break. Is it going to work? Let's see. No, it's just me. Damn it. Okay, wait. I can fix it. I can fix it.
Stop.
Oh, I'm going to bring you on screen. Or not. Oh, I hate my life. But thank you for the super chat. I'm going to bring you back. Do it without the bubble. I'll try that. Oh, okay. So I have a certain set of scenes set up for Ecamm for like when I'm by myself, and then when I bring in a guest, usually the scenes are not set up as well, so it's always a crapshoot. We just never know. I thought you were going to be under the sea dancing with me, but apparently not so much.
Not tonight.
You're missing out. No, I can fix it. I can fix it if you want to dance under the sea with me. I can fix it. I can fix it. Sure. So Viper, tell me about Clubhouse. How are you finding the experience? I saw that you were doing a Twitter space room, and how are you finding that experience versus Clubhouse? I'd love to know.
Clubhouse is amazing. I have made some amazing connections on Clubhouse that are just not possible anywhere else, not even on Twitter Spaces. Clubhouse is interesting because every Saturday night, as you know, I do the TechTuber Lounge, and I usually am joined by Renee Ritchie and El Happy Reviews, and they co-host with me. And then we have people from all over that come in and hang out and things like that. So the cool thing is that once certain people come into the room and they start hanging out, then the people that follow them are kind of alerted that, or they're not alerted, but, well, actually, no, if they get up on stage in Clubhouse, then they are alerted that that person's speaking in the room. So they get an alert, or if they don't have alerts turned on for that person, if that person is in my room, then they see that room, or they see my room on their hallway. So this last Saturday was insanity. It was me, Renee, and Shelly. You were there. Shelly was there. It was me, Renee, Jeff, and Shelly. And at one point in the room, it was me, Renee, Jeff, Shelly. We had MKBHD in there. Super Staff was in there. We had the head of Xbox marketing, Aaron Greenberg, in there.
Was in there, yeah.
We had Jeff in there. I mean, it was crazy. And these are just interesting moments because right now Clubhouse is in its early days, so it's kind of limited as far as who's on the platform, but it's amazing because you can have these crazy connections that just happen like instantaneously that you just can't get anywhere else. So I have been loving my time on Clubhouse. There's nothing like it. And I know Twitter is trying to do their little thing with Twitter Spaces, but you can't really like duplicate the charm and the feng shui of Clubhouse. So I love Clubhouse. Amazing.
I was on the room that Renee was doing where it was all sorts of YouTubers dissect my
Right.
channel.
Yep.
I thought that was an interesting concept. Really interesting concept because you had all of these big players in the game kind of giving their feedback on, another person's channel. And kudos to Renee for just like having the cojones to just be like, here guys, roast my channel and sit there and take it, and
Getting roast Renee. You can't roast them.
you can't really, roast him. And I agree with a lot of what was said. Obviously those people are very smart, so they understand what advice they would be giving, and a lot of it is the exact same that I would give him. But I thought it was just really cool. It was one of those weird opportune moments in time that you got to witness where you saw all of these people kind of band together behind one person just to like help make them be better. And so that was probably a moment that I've never seen before on Clubhouse. And I thought that was actually really, really cool. So that's probably been one of my favorite Clubhouse rooms, only because it was just like one person sat there and listened while all these other people told them all kinds of stuff about their channel that they would change. And he just sat there and just hearing everyone's perspective was just like so fascinating, I think. You don't see that a lot,
Right.
I liked it. Holly Lee is here. James Pruitt. Doug Hewson is now in the building. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you.
Everybody from that Clubhouse Ladies Night like just hung out. They're hanging out with you tonight. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome that they like migrated over. We were saying hello to all of them. So nice. Holly has been killing it lately in the game, doing all this recruiting stuff. If you guys are trying to get into some big tech companies, you can check out Holly's channel, and especially if you're trying to get hired at Amazon, she is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to all of that kind of information. So definitely check her out. And Holly has been killing it for a very long time, and I would love to actually use her as an example for just a moment, because when Holly was first getting started, she then decided to go very, very niche into how do I, as a former tech recruiter, help people get into these big companies and use my experience for that. And she went very deep. And we talk about breadth versus depth, and she decided to go into a very interesting space, which is people trying to get jobs at very high tech companies. And so whether that was, a developer job or an SDM role or like whatever else type of role, she became that go-to resource, which Holly would even tell you that someone else, a recruiter from Amazon, referenced her videos in sending an applicant to help them prep for their interviews for Amazon. And I'm like, when you've got the industry people sending people to your channel, that is you building a reputation for yourself in a particular type of niche. So she decided to do a very niche type of thing, which is help people get prepared for those type of interviews. And it's really worked out for her because, she's even now got her own consulting business where she helps people get ready for tech interviews. So that is absolutely, she doesn't even have to have a huge audience to be able to do well for herself, because that is a very specific audience, and they're even paying for her time and expertise. She's done a lot of live streaming. She's a great model when it comes to, you don't have to have a huge audience, you can still monetize it, and you can be super niche in one particular topic. So love that for Holly. So kudos to Holly. If you're still out there listening, very proud of you. That's really, really, really awesome. So I'd love to know, Viper, if you were giving advice to a very new YouTuber, do you think that you would say, I kind of heard you say like make 50 videos, but do you think it's better for people to go kind of niche, or do you think it really is just to do whatever you think you're passionate about for 50 videos?
If you know what you want to do right off the bat, then yeah, I guess you could go like super niche right out the gate. But if you're trying to find your identity and you're trying to find what is going to resonate best with the audience, then it's probably best if you experiment for a little bit. Because let's face it, Shelly, we've been in enough of these rooms. We know that a lot of these people don't know what the hell they want to do when they're first on YouTube. Yes. They think they know, but they have no clue. So
Did you have no idea?
No, they don't know what they want to do. So because they don't know what they want to do, they need to experiment and have fun and experiment, because once you land it, that's where the fun kind of ends and that's where the real work begins. So have fun in the beginning, experiment, but once you lock on and figure out what it is that people want from you, that's when the real work begins.
Yeah. And I do feel like a lot of the time, though, people get the wrong idea about niche. And, you know, like earlier when I said, like, someone tries to say that they're in fitness, and I'm like, honey, that's not a niche. Like, fitness is not a niche. You know what I'm saying? Like, fitness is just like an entire like sphere of stuff, and then you have to funnel it down into a particular type of thing.
Right, you're right.
Right?
Yep.
Because, you know, fitness is not the same as, you know, when I used the example before, like a little ballerina at the age of 13 is not thinking about the same fitness as Mr. Olympia, all natural, no hormone bodybuilding.
Right.
But they're technically both fitness. And I'm just like, no. Like, and then the problem is so many people are trying to be very, very clever and floofy with their words, but then actually confusing people as to what it is that they're actually doing. Right? And I'm like, when you say to someone, she was in here earlier. Oh, Cheryl. I was making fun of Cheryl, but only because she was in the room with me, so she knows. And she says, like, mindfulness for middle-aged ladies. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And so it's like, if you have to explain it to me for like a certain amount of time, then it's not really a niche. It's like, it's an idea or an ethos. But I would love to know, if you guys are still listening out there, what is your niche that you think you have, or who do you think you're helping, like, or who's your ideal audience when you're making videos? So I would love to hear that. So Viper, tell me, who is your ideal viewer? Like, who do you think you're talking to when you're making videos now?
You know, when I'm making videos, I am talking to people that love Apple products, that have Apple products, or maybe trying to figure out how to use Apple products. I am talking to them because obviously my audience is mostly Apple. They're probably watching or listening on mostly Apple devices. So I'm trying to help them better connect with Apple. I'm trying to make them aware of what's happening in the Apple sphere. So when I cut the camera on and I'm talking to people, I am talking to Team Apple. That's who I'm talking to.
Team Apple. Is there any particular gender or age that you are thinking of?
Nope. Just people that like Apple. Yep.
Okay.
And if you look at my demographics, I mean, it's like literally from 13 to 65 at this point. So, yeah. You're like, I did not expect that answer. What is that, Viper?
No, it's just interesting because technically, like, Apple fandom is absolutely kind of like, it's in the overall niche of kind of, if you want to say like technology or, you know, Apple products. But even, I could say even someone like yourself could be into, like, if it was just iPads, or if it was just, you know, if it was just iPhones, or it was just iOS devices, if it was iPads, iPhones, like iPods. And, you know, or like if it was just MacBooks, or if it was just, there's a lot of, I think, like, super specificity that can happen inside of an entire genre ecosystem, even as big as Apple, you know? So, oh, we have a super chat. Yay. Thank you so much, Holly. Okay. So I don't think we're going to be able, I didn't fix the super chat thing, but let me hit the super chat button. And I think Viper will go off screen for just 1 second. You'll be back in 15 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. This side over here. Woo! Holly, thank you so much for your super chat. Love to see that. If you have any particular questions or anything that you want to say, please let us know. I would love to answer any questions you have, or, you know, all the good things. Now, Annie Portalatin, you better change that, Annie, because that's not your real name. It's supposed to be Annie Sells Orlando, so you better go change that now. So new construction is a niche, that is what she's saying, and she has to press record already and just do the damn thing. And I cannot agree with that more, because Annie has been in the Women of YouTube group several weeks in a row on Clubhouse, and I think her homework was that she was supposed to have produced a video in 1 week's time, which her 1 week is actually up tomorrow. So Annie, you have less than 24 hours to create your very first video. So if I were you,
don't let Viper come after you.
I know, right? It is going to be very loud, and it's going to be like very incessantly like persistent. I will stick him on you. So if I were you, I would I would go to wherever your filming setup is, use your cell phone if that's what you have, and say, and create basically your channel trailer and say like, hi, my name is Annie. I'm a real estate agent in Orlando, and my channel, Annie Sells Orlando, is teaching you all about insert new construction in the Orlando area. Whatever it is, keep it under 60 seconds. Get that up on your channel by tomorrow. You don't have to overthink this. Like, get your video up. I think a lot of the time we just make it so hard on ourselves, and it's not that complicated, but we make it too complicated. Would you agree with that, Viper? We just make things way too complicated for ourselves.
I mean, there's a lot of overthinking, especially when people are first starting out. So don't overthink it. Just get it done. And I think a lot of people want their first video or their first piece of content to be perfect.
Perfect.
No, it's not happening. It's not going to be perfect. There will be a day in the future where you look back on your first piece of content and you will laugh at yourself because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
So just get it out there and then begin that learning experience of getting better every time you put out a piece of content, because your first piece of content is not going to be good, but that's okay.
Sometimes your first 100 pieces of content aren't very good, right? Sometimes they're just not great. And like, you can go back and look at mine. I think I have a whole bunch up there. Like, it's so blue. The audio is awful. There's so much that I would cut out. The pacing is not good. But at the time, I had watched thousands of hours probably, of, Sean and Benji and of Roberto and of Nick and all the people that you watch when you're trying to prepare for your first video and you think your stuff is like looking good and you're sounding good. And then you look back 5 years later at your video and you're like, oh my God, it's so awful. Look at you. Like, you're so cute and pathetic, but at least you did it. So I think it's the case for everyone that like, no matter how hard you prepare your first video, it's not perfect. So if you can just get that out of your head right now, like I'm telling you, Viper's telling you, anyone who's ever made a YouTube video is going to tell you that 2 years later, they're going to look back and be like, it's pretty bad. It's not great. It's not great, but it's a place to start because in the weeks leading up to it, you can be like the person who has a video out, even if it's crappy, that has the experience of knowing what it's like to upload, edit, and like publish a video. Or you can be the person who's still just wishy-washy thinking about like, what if one day? And it's like, which one do you want to be? So you just got to stop overcomplicating. Oh, we even have a super chat from Annie as I'm like totally berating her and making her feel bad. She first gave us money, so hold on, we're gonna dance and celebrate that. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna keep you on screen though, Viper. You're gonna have to enjoy the ride. Okay.
What are you?
It's called Enjoy the Ride. We can still hear you, and your disdain for the music. I can still hear it. Wait, here we go. Oh, I think I can do the bubbles now. You're here under the water. Oh,
Like you're deep.
Oh, Viper, there's no getting out of it. At least you're under the sea. People can't see you dancing. Because the bubbles and the lights, they hide it all. You're welcome. I do that for you. And your
Nemo? Why are we finding Nemo right now? What is happening here?
Don't be mad. Don't be a hater. Don't be mad.
I'm wondering what's happening on my
I hear you. Oh no, I got the rainbow spinning wheel of death. Okay, but you know what? Your disdain is visibly palpable, and I don't appreciate it while we're dancing under the sea together. Like, oh, do you see that? Annie says you need to dance. Dance.
Annie doesn't know who Viper is. Viper does not dance. Dance. Viper don't dance. Okay, we don't do that here.
Viper
Shelly
sips
dances.
Frappuccinos and
You watch Shelly dancing tonight because she know over there sipping that liquid courage, so she over there dancing. That's why she all dancing tonight. That's all right. Hey.
You kidding me? I dance when there's tea in the cup. I dance when there's coffee in the cup. I dance when there's tequila in the. It doesn't matter what's in the cup, Viper. There's always a good reason to dance. There's always good reason to dance. Yes. Mm-hmm. So if you had to tell yourself at the very beginning, like some advice, what do you think you would tell yourself?
What would I tell myself?
Knowing what you know now, being
3 years into the game.
3 years on it.
What would I tell myself? Holy Lord. Well, probably I'll tell myself, dude, start earlier. Start years ago. But I guess that's too easy. I don't know. I don't really have any regrets. 'Cause my first year on YouTube was one of probably the best like rookie years in the history of tech. So I can't even complain. It's like I had a lot of things that happened to me in my first year. YouTube, that was just awesome. And I don't know if they would have happened the way they happened had I went back and changed anything. So I don't know. But
you did have a pretty like momentous first year from like, hosting that entire live stream thing with like Daryl at Vid Summit and going to, like the studio and like being there with El Jefe and that whole story. It's a really good one. If you guys want to hear it, it's over on Viper's channel. He talked about it it was very recently too. On one of your live streams. You should totally post that one. But it's such a good story, and it's really about like community. And when you're building a community, it's just amazing sometimes what can happen. Now, there is one person in the community that I have to call out real quick. Technically T is in the chat. And first of all, I see you. Now, here's what's funny about this. So technically T said he had someone say to him that his stream was not professional because he was drinking, I don't know, whiskey or something like that while he was on stream. And I was like, dude, don't even sweat it. I drink every Thursday, whether it's coffee, tea, or sometimes adult libations. So I know where you're going with that. And I see you. I appreciate you. And yes, if you want to jump in here too, T, like you're more than welcome. You can come hang with us.
He is lucky. I got sidetracked tonight. I gotta deal with him another day. I got sidetracked. I was supposed to make a response video to his video that he made about my video, but I got sidetracked because I got access to Twitter Spaces, so I got sidetracked tonight. I'll deal with you another day, T. I will deal with you another day.
You can deal with him now. If T is like, if he wants to come in here and have a little chat with you, that's his prerogative. I'm not gonna stop him. So Vito, you are welcome for the tips. Thank you for you need some tips on how I make this stream. Just FYI, I do use Restream to broadcast out, so you may be seeing this on Twitter. And rest in peace, Periscope. It is closing down this month. You may be seeing it on Facebook. You may be seeing it on YouTube. And Restream helps me spread out the entire video stream, and what I'm actually using right now to live stream is also Ecamm. So I use Ecamm, I push it to Restream, and I schedule all my stuff in Restream and push it out. So there you go. He says, ooh, boo, Viper, I don't want to hear your excuses.
Be careful what you wish for, bro.
Sometimes you never know what to expect, though, on some of these live streams, I have to say. So I popped into Viper's live stream last Friday, and then there was some person who was like, like, you said the wage gap doesn't exist, or the wage gap exists, but like, we're not going to talk about that. And then you went on to something else. And then someone was trying to be real quick to be like, the wage gap doesn't even exist.
Bro.
And I just about lost my stuff. And I was just like, the hell it does exist. Excuse me? And then he super chatted you and was like, could you explain to me something but not like mansplain it? Because I had told him that he was trying to mansplain to me how I felt being a woman in the workplace. And I was like, unless you are a woman, please do not explain to me how I feel as a woman in the workplace. And I'm not going to get into it on your channel, but this is my video, so I can get into it on my channel. And then he tried to say something. He's like, don't try to mansplain it to me. And I was like, oh, child, you do not know what you have started if you want to go down this road. And I'm going to tell you, though, I'm going to tell you a little straight up, I was a little disappointed in you because you kind of, like, I think you were trying to, like, make nice of it, and you have a lot of dudes that watch your stream, and you were kind of like, look, I don't want to get into it, but, like, the wage gap does exist. I was kind of hoping that the woman feminist inside of you would have been like, dude, shut up. That's not even true. But you're much nicer than I am, because I would literally tell someone, you're a stupid turd head and you don't know what you're talking about. But you're much more polite than I am. So I will say, I was just like,
you might be disappointed in me, but I didn't have to do a damn thing because you had done it already. You handled it before I even get to it. You handled it already. There was nothing left for me to handle once you handled it.
But I didn't feel like I'd handle it. But I was like, okay, I know where he's going with that, because like you don't want to fight with people, especially ones that have super chatted you. And I'm like, I get that, but at least someone else also in the chat was like, it's a pretty bold statement to say that every single workplace is, amenable to women and open and equal. And I was just like,
if you want me to flame brawl somebody, don't try to brawl him before I can get to him, because there's nothing left for it. There's nothing left to work. Flame brawl the boy.
They followed me on Instagram.
I guess he liking flame brawl.
No, I don't understand why. I'm like, first of all, if you were so upset that I mansplained to you how you mansplained to me, why would you come follow me on Instagram if it isn't just to start more shit? Because I was kind of like, should I just block him at this point? Because I'm just like, at one point I was just like, okay, I'm not going to start like an entire forest fire in the middle of your live stream, And so at one point I just kind of closed the laptop. And I didn't want to get started because I was being like, oh, once we go down this road, and honey, I'm going to tell you, like, there are more CEOs in this world named John than there are women, period. Do not tell me that, first of all, a wage gap does not exist when you have that many men in power. Do not tell me and explain to me, unless you are the HR department where all of these companies and big execs are, that you know of all of these things and reports. Unless you are that person, do not try to explain to me how a wage gap does not exist when I am living and breathing inside of these companies as is right now. And I'm like, do not get me started, because I'm just like, I am not prepared to, one, represent all of womankind inside of like this Friday night live stream. But I was just like, I don't have time for this much, like you were so set in your ways. There's nothing that I'm going to tell you. There's like, when you're that set, wage gap doesn't exist. Ever since the workplace has been open to women, it has been a fair playing field. And I just about lost it. I'm like, you mean like when the World War II happened and then all of a sudden we told women it was their patriotic duty to go to work making rivets and doing things because there weren't any men to work the steel factories, but then when they came home and told them it was their patriotic duty to get back in the kitchen after they finally had some financial freedom? And I was like, or like the fact that every single office building for like the 70s and 80s was like set to a man's air conditioning because of the fact that men had suits, and so it was supposed to be air conditioned for that. And I was just like, I can't even begin to tell you how some workplaces are not a safe space for women, and have you like even start to like change any way of thinking, because you don't want to change how you're thinking. Like, you literally think because women can go to work that they have all equal opportunities, rights, and money. And I was just like, oh my God, I cannot deal with this amount of like stupid at one time. And I just closed the laptop, and I just like, I can't. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah. I think you handled the situation very well last week, so I didn't have to do anything. You handled that. You did that.
I tried. And then I'm like, why would you come follow me on like another? I'm like, you just want to come and start some stuff. I don't know. And here's the thing. It's just like, I don't sit there and I don't try and preach that like women are so far superior, or like women deserve like way more than. I'm just like, even thinking that we could be equal. I'm like, how about the fact that we get charged a pink tax on stuff? Like, we already make less, then we get charged more for the same items. Like, I don't know, razors? So tell me about how that doesn't like widen the gap. But I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. Because we are allowed to work. I'm like, let's forget the thing that like, I don't know, 100 years ago, I wasn't even allowed to open a bank account unless I had a man with me. Like, that's just a thing. That's just a thing that still existed at that time. You couldn't even have access to your own money, but you're going to tell me that in that time we've become so awesomely equal that like we make all the same amount of money and have all the same rights as men just because you said that? Like, no, you can't actually believe that. And I'm like, I don't know where you're working that you believe that this is true, but it's not true. Anyways, I didn't mean to go, sorry to anyone listening to that whole spiel, but like that entire interaction with that gentleman, I felt like he was mocking me when he then threw up a super chat and then was trying to say, yeah, Viper, mansplain it to me. Because I was like, oh, bitch, you literally just used that as like an assault and a like affront to the fact that I told him not to mansplain to me how it felt being a woman in the workplace. And I was like, you did that vindictively on purpose. And it's like, I don't dislike that many people publicly, but I was like, that was not cool. That was not cool at all. But anyways, that's your live stream.
Oh, God. Yeah. If there's one lesson to be gleaned from all of this, it's just do not piss off Shelly Save the Day. Don't do that.
I mean, I think that's good advice for anyone in life, but you know.
Yeah.
So first of all, I have to acknowledge we did get a super chat from Vito. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if the whole
like man.
going off the rails gets me a little bit angry, and I'm not trying to like. I think like I'm never trying to bash men. Like we need men as allies. I appreciate all the things that you do. Like I appreciate spaces, but that entire line of thing when he went down that, I was just like, I sat there in disbelief first, and I did like the big blink, and I was just kind of like, what? And then it just went off the rails there. And then Fallon and Fam Short says, you two should sing together.
Viper does not sing.
Should I sing with Viper? Is that what you?
Viper does not sing. That's what she's saying. But Viper does not sing. Like that's the one thing in my life I just ever don't do. Unless I'm Taylor Swift, didn't make it.
By the way, if you want to hear some singing, I do have a musical live stream channel. I did put out a video. So I spoke twice last week, and we're going to do a dance here in just a second. But I spoke twice last week at PodFest. And one of the events we did was called Inner Circle. So people who had bought a certain level of ticket did this inner networking group of like through a Zoom call. And one of them was Marty Ray Project, Marty Ray. And he had gone viral for doing a reggae version of Ice Ice Baby. And so he played it, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. And he was saying how it was like kind of an accident because he just had been singing it like that for a while, and he was trying to make content for his YouTube channel, and he's like, I don't have anything, but I have this like version of Ice Ice Baby, which I do in this style. Got millions of views. He actually got contacted by Vanilla Ice, got to open for him at a concert doing this reggae version of Ice Ice Baby. But so his story is fantastic, but I was listening to his version of Ice Ice Baby, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I love this. Because if you know me, I take pop songs or like happy songs and I depressify them. So I just make them super sad. That's just like a special gift. I just will depressify any happy song that you have. And so I heard this and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So I did one of what I call a one take wonder, where you just try a song in one take and see how it goes. So I did a one take hit of Ice Ice Baby in the style of Marty Ray Project, and I threw it up on like Twitter and my YouTube channel. So if you guys are ever interested in hearing that, that's kind of a fun one that just came from because I was in the room with Marty Ray Project, and it was just kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah, you can check that out. So
yeah, I was not aware that our Shelly was a singing lady until she.
Oh, I sent you one the other day too.
She sent me this clip of her singing Taylor Swift. I forget what song it was, but yeah. Oh yeah, it was Love Story because
it's Love Story. You were so disappointed that Love Story had been re-released in like it wasn't like substantially different.
Taylor Swift remade Love Story, as you all know, or you all might know, and I wasn't really feeling the remake. I thought the original was slightly better, but that's just me. So since I was disappointed, Shelly sent me a clip of her singing Love Story, which was.
I said, I know you were disappointed you didn't get something significantly different, so let me give you something different. And I took that song and I depressified it, and I sent it to you. I was like, here you go, Viper. Like, here's a depressed version of Love Story.
I was not expecting that, but that was well done.
So if you guys are ever looking for a depressed version of Love Story, you can also see that I sent it to Viper specifically. But we have two super chats, and we have to celebrate them. So Vito and Fallon both did a super chat. So we got to dance for them. And this time you're going to dance, and we're going to call this one Dunk Competition, and hopefully we don't get stuck under the sea. Sometimes it happens, though. Here we go. Oh, this one's pretty good. Gotta find my bubbles. you, Vito, and thank you, Fallon, for your super chats. I see you over there. You can at least bop your head. You can do it. You can do it. Yes! Point. You can at least do it to the rhythm.
What is happening here?
Grazie, Vito. Grazie.
We're at the club.
Don't be mad. You should dance. You should dance more often. It's good for you. Don't be mad. It's
so often.
thing.
I need to come to your lodging more often because you are a lot more laid back on your lodging than when you are in these like room things.
I don't know. Am I? I guess there are some ladies from the YouTube room here. So let me know. Am I like very, very different in a live stream than I am in Clubhouse? Because I don't necessarily think I am. I just, in Clubhouse, I'm usually waiting for my turn because I'm trying not to overtake any like conversation. But like I unmute, I say my business, and I, mute. So. Listen,
and in Clubhouse, you are the goddamn female Terminator. On this live stream, you're like
Terminator.
You're like the female Yes. You be out to destroy people on Clubhouse.
But that's the thing, I'm not. I'm just trying to be like efficient because if anything, I'm trying to respect people's time. So like here, we can shoot the shit and we can just be like, yeah, let's hang out. But like on Clubhouse, we're like, we only got an hour, people. Let's go.
Like, again, you're a lot more laid back on your live stream. I need to come here more often. I like this.
Not you should come hang out with us on Thursdays because Tuesdays, so I think I told you, but like Tuesdays, Scott Peachy and I, from Technically Speaking, we do the Amazon Would You Buy That? And the only reason we did that is like, well, there's two reasons. One, three reasons. God, I'm a bad counter. One, we're trying to get on Amazon's radar so that hopefully one day they'll contact us and then, because you know how like Travis McPee and other people used to stream on Amazon, they get paid in gift cards. And I'm like, I would like to get paid in gift cards because I spend a lot of money on Amazon. Thank you. Two, I was like, Scott and I were lamenting to each other about how like nobody ever buys anything from our Amazon links or anything like that. So we were like, maybe we could actually talk about just some fun stuff and people will watch us on Amazon, maybe buy something. And then three, it's just something like we can do that is like laid back, relaxed, has nothing to do with either of our channels. We just get to like hang out with a friend that's making content and just like talk shit and have fun. So that's why we do it. We've sold nothing. Like we've sold like 10 items and made $5, I think, but like it's still just a fun project to do. But yeah, if you ever tune in on a Tuesday, like this is us hanging out on a Tuesday, and then Thursdays, I mean, this is what it is on Thursday.
So you know what, since I'm here, you asked me earlier what I thought about Clubhouse and Twitter and all that stuff, Twitter Spaces. What are your thoughts on these voice platforms? What are your thoughts on Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces and the like?
Well, I think that Clubhouse is losing popularity just because, like, as the new shiny object, part of it, like, wears off, And how many times, we talked about this earlier. It's like, how many times can we be in the same room with the same people? Because it's usually the same people asking the same questions. So there's something about the permanence of, see you later, Dave. Something about the permanence of YouTube where I can literally tell someone, go watch this video. And not in a snarky way, but like, go watch this video. I went in depth for this for like an hour. Go watch this. And it's really helpful. Whereas after the 100th time that you've answered, how do I get more subscribers on YouTube or something like that, right? You know that your eyes kind of glaze over and you're like, God, this again? So it depends on the rooms that you're in, of course. But like there's such ebbs and flows too. Like if you think tonight, let's say we were in the Ladies of YouTube room and some weeks maybe we've had 50 people and today there was like 5 people. Like, would you rather spend a certain amount of hours making content so that 5 people can hear it, as impactful as it may be for 5 people? Or could you spend the same amount of time making a couple of videos, put them up on your YouTube channel, and then potentially reach hundreds of people and have permanence? So it becomes this balancing act of like, where do you want to spend your time? And is the juice worth the squeeze at the end of the day? Like, is it because it's free and that people don't show up, that they don't value it? Should it be that we should be in a place where it's a private room and we charge money for it? Should it be that we just send people to a YouTube channel where they can actually consume the content and it lives on forever? And the fact that so few people can actually go in there, like, it's cool in some respects because that exclusivity exists for a while. But what happens when all the floodgates then and everyone comes in and it's like, it's not that cool. it's just going to be more of the same. And so like I kind of appreciated something that has a very pointed message, such as all of these people review Renee's channel. That's special. That's interesting and unique, because you're not going to get all those people on a live stream on YouTube, but you can on Clubhouse. So like an opportunity like that, awesome. Like if Hayden Hillier Smith was giving an entire dissertation or video class about how he decides to edit and blah, 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 even if it was audio, like a ton of people would go tune into that. If he did the same thing on Zoom or YouTube or whatever, like a million people would go flock to that, and it would be amazing. But like it's pointed and has a purpose. I don't mind doing the Ladies of YouTube room because it's pointed and has a purpose, but I'm not like going into Clubhouse on the rest of the time looking for rooms to join. You know what I mean? Because like you start scrolling, you see a lot of the same people in the same rooms, and it's just like, oh, if I go in there, someone's going to ask about YouTube Shorts. And I'm like, God, how many times can I talk about YouTube Shorts? Right? And that's the thing, is because it's the most asked question everywhere. It's just like, and I get it, guys, I get it, but it's just like, Google it. They have blog posts about it. They have videos about it. I've made videos about it. Like, I don't want to come into another room and talk YouTube Shorts. I did a talk on it last week at PodFest. I did a talk and presentation on it in a private Facebook group. I did a whatever. And it's like in every room you go into, and it's like, I've never heard of Shorts. What are YouTube Shorts? And I'm like, my brain does not compute. Like, so like as people get frustrated to the point where they don't want to go into rooms because they know that they might get brought up on stage, let's say, to talk about the same thing, you just don't have those people show up. So then you don't have like some of these people come in and talking about stuff. You just got a whole bunch of like people jibber jabbering about like whatever. So I don't know, man. It's good in small doses, but the appeal and shininess and newness, unless there's like some pointed room, like I don't mind making time for a Saturday night, the thing when you're talking TechTuber Lounge, when it's, you and Renee and El Jefe. Yeah, sure. But like the rest of it, I'm just like, I don't think I'm here for that anymore.
You know what? I love you.
Thanks.
Because you always support the hell out of me, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Like you are literally everywhere. And sometimes I feel bad because I will see you like in my live chat and I won't acknowledge you, and I'm like, God damn it.
You don't have to acknowledge me. You know that I support you. I ride high for you, of course, and you do the same, because like you show up ladies' night, you show up, like you show up on my Instagram posts, you show up in YouTube videos, and like that doesn't go unnoticed either. So it's not like I don't need you to call me out by name when I show up in a live. Of course, it's nice, but like I know that I'm there, and like I know you appreciate.
I go unnoticed. I appreciate you because you don't have to do that. And that's quite special because I know you don't have to do that, and I know that you have a lot of other things going on. So the fact that you are constantly there when I'm doing something is amazing. So thank you.
See, but I also, well, one, you're welcome. But two, I also believe in this like law of reciprocity. So a lot of the time, those who are down for me, I'm down for them. And, and that just always goes that way. So like I'll show up in a Zach live stream. I'll show up in an El Jefe one. I'll show up on a Renee Ritchie video. I'll show up in a Jason Painfully Honest Tech, because the amount of time that it takes to show up, at least say hi, like, hey, I hope you have a great stream, or hey, I watched your video, or whatever else it is. It doesn't take a lot, but I feel like a lot of people don't do it. And I feel like a lot of people are sometimes, let's say, silently ghosting, supporting. But it doesn't go unnoticed, though, if people come in and at least leave a comment, or at least say hi, or at least whatever. It's like, it is very, very much noticed and appreciated. So, like, I know when you come in, you say hi, you drop usually some flame emojis about, so I appreciate that, and I see you, and I know that you're around. So like, I get it. I love you too.
You're awesome.
I know you support the ladies, and you show up for ladies night and all that stuff. So yeah, absolutely. I ride hard for those who ride for me. You know that.
Indeed. So we have a very important question in the chat here.
All right.
Is it niche or niche?
Oh, well, pop quiz. What do you say?
I find myself saying niche.
I say niche now too, because it's the en français way to say it. But a lot of people will say the niches have the riches, and it doesn't sound the same when you say niche. So you can go either way with that. Just like vase and vase. It depends how fancy you feeling. You feeling like this is over $40, so it's a vase? Or are you feeling like, it's like same with like caramel caramel. Like, how am I
I
feeling?
just learned a few years ago that it's not Target, it's Target.
Target, because it's
I did
fancy.
not know this. I know, it's crazy. Like,
It's
what?
fancy.
I used to work there. I worked at Target for 2 years and I didn't know it was Target.
No, it's not Target though. It's only Target to the few that like are trying to make it sound fancier because they don't. Yes.
Say it, Ellie. The bougie. It's the bougie.
It's the bouge. Yes, right? Yes. Just like it's not YSL versus, like Yves Saint Laurent. It's like the that one with the letters. That one. It just
Is it
depends on how you say
Lululemon
it.
or Lululemon?
Shannon would come for you, right? She'd be like, "No." But there are just words every once in a while that that do that to people, that trip people up, and yeah, I personally am in the niche family, but I can ride hard for those who like want to say it wrong, niche all day long, whatever. So Jessica Stansberry, from Women of YouTube as well sometimes, and Jessica Stansberry, she'll say niche. Because one, she's kind of got that southern drawl, so it's real cute when she says it anyway. Yeah. But I just don't. I think it would be like, it would hurt her to be like niche. Like she can't do it.
No,
like
she can do it.
It would hurt her soul to do it. She's just like, it's niche, just like that hitch over there. So it's just a niche. And I'm not making fun of her for that. I mean, she would say that, she's like, I can't say it like that. I say it as niche, I say the niches. And she's so cute when she says it. So I'm like, yeah, Jessica, you say it however you want to. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to say it in French. Like, it's fine. Just like the people who can't do like croissant and croissant, like some people can't do it. Can you roll your R's like Ruffles have ridges? Like,
no,
I can't do it either. So
No.
I just liken it to that. Some people just say it like that, and I can't do it. So fancy. Some people are fancy. I'm not fancy, but I do say Target. Although I like haven't been to a Target in like a year now. I was looking back at the calendar. I've been home now for like a year, which is. How are you doing, like, mentally? Audience, how are you guys doing mentally? Because a lot of people are now coming up on their, like, 1 year-ish anniversary of, like, maybe being home. Texas has now opened their state. Like, Texas, I feel for you. I mean, you got the snowstorm. You got a governor that's just like, masks don't matter anymore. How are you guys doing? Like, oh, my God. And, I'm starting to feel... For the people who have like March birthdays, so my friend Samantha March has a March birthday, and she's like, I'm about to spend my second birthday in like at home isolation, and that's gonna like mess with your mind for a lot of people, and I feel really bad. Like, how are you doing, first of all?
How is Viper doing? Well, considering the fact that Viper don't trust these humans anyway, and I'm cool staying at home because ain't nobody out there anyway. Everybody walking around here acting like the pandemic's done. It ain't done. Oh my God, I'm vaccinated. I can take off my mask. No, you can't take off your mask. It doesn't matter if you're vaccinated. Keep your damn mask on. Roll with you people. But yeah, I'm doing great because I can be at home. Everything I need is in my house. I'm good. And I can talk to all the people that I care about through the internet. So that's cool. And yeah. I'm kind of, it kind of makes me get on my nerves though, because I was working at home for 7 months, but then my job changed since they were like changing the structure and laying everybody off. So now I have to go in the office every day. So that kind of stuff, I guess it doesn't suck because I still have a job. So I guess that's cool too. But yeah, I'm doing great. I'm great. Yeah.
Audience, how are you guys doing? How y'all doing? I have to say, like, at first, I thought it'd be 6 months, and now here we are a year, and our office is like, oh, it's probably going to be another 6 months. And it's great. I get to hang out with my dogs.
Let's talk about it, Shelly. Why are we still here a year later, Shelly? Why are we still here?
Selfishness.
There we go. Yep.
Disbelief.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Selfishness and disbelief and inaction and conspiracy theories and
I think selfishness is the big one.
The inability to have a minor temporary inconvenience for the benefit of the greater good. I mean,
yes, I think there's a bigger reason, but I can't get into that because I'm not going to go there. But yes, I think selfishness is the probably best reason why we're still here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's disheartening. I mean, yes. It stems from how many people believe it's a hoax, how many people think like it's no worse than the flu. I mean, how many people refuse to mildly inconvenience themselves for something. Like, even if you think masks do or don't like actually work, and that's a whole other debate in itself. And then it became like double mask, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We can't even get people to wear one mask, let alone two. But like
Right.
the fact that like it's like, hey, you wear a seatbelt, don't you? You don't expect to get into a car accident. Could you just wear a face mask for maybe the benefit of others? I get it, your freedoms, blah, blah, blah. But, like, wouldn't it just be nice if we didn't have to worry about killing grandma? Wouldn't it be nice if, like, you know, you just...
You would think so, but people are selfish.
I know. And it's just, like, I don't understand how we have to have this fight and debate where it's that big of a deal for people. Like, I get it. You don't want to. I don't want to. Nobody wants to, but I'm willing to. Like, I haven't left my house in so long. My husband goes out and does the grocery shopping once every 2 weeks. And, like we've been home. We've been home. And it's just, it's mind-boggling to me, even people locally that are just like, even though we're in a certain phase, so our state is in these phases, you know, like, and in certain phases, you're not supposed to be in certain groups of a certain amount of size, or supposed to be like outside, or you're not supposed to do certain things like exercising in groups of larger than whatever. People are just completely like, it's a conspiracy, man. We're going to get together and do our stuff, and we're doing all this stuff, and I'm just like at home, chilling by myself and being like, it's because of you guys that I'm still here. Like, and I don't wish anybody, you know, but like every once in a while you're like, could you just hear me for a second? The people that are just in disbelief, the people who can't stop partying in LA, the people who just like violate all of these like rules.
And you know the other thing,
if you just had to pick some people to be first.
Like, some of these influencers are not helping either, posting their pictures of them hanging with their friends, not wearing masks. Y'all not helping, man. Y'all not helping.
Yeah.
I hope. But we won't. We get on a tangent too long. We're good.
I know. I feel bad. It's a little bit of a depressing subject, but it's just the state of the world that we're in currently, which is funny because, you know, other parts of the world, they've taken it more seriously. They've done their stuff. And some of them have reopened. You know,
New Zealand, man. New Zealand is just chilling.
I know, right? Oh, man. I feel bad because at one point did we like disqualify each other to be like, oh, but it's fine because, you know, 1% of America can die. It's not a big deal. I'm like, at what point did we just decide that 1% was an acceptable number to be like, yeah, no problem. All of these people dead, no problem.
Woo! Yeah, we won't go down that path, but yeah.
And then Texas, poor Texas. I mean, you can't catch a break. You're not prepared for these winter storms. You're freezing out. This 11-year-old boy, I heard, like froze to death in his, you know, because he doesn't have like winter jackets and whatnot in the home that he was in. All these people dying of carbon monoxide because they're trying to start fires and stuff to stay warm because there's no infrastructure in place for that state to actually survive cold weather like this. Then the companies that are upcharging their electricity and taking automatic withdrawals from people, like where people's bills were $60 and are now $19,000, wiping out completely people's savings. Like, how do you sleep at night? And then you guys being like on a conference call being like, the pandemic is great for our electricity numbers, or like this storm in Texas is great for our shareholders. And I'm like, you are a horrible person to the core.
Yep.
Or a horrible person. But anyways,
okay,
that's okay.
So let's go back to a more lighthearted subject.
Yes.
In my hand I have a Shure SM7B.
Yes.
In front of you, I believe you have the exact same microphone. Am I correct?
Yes.
So the question becomes, Shelly, how did you come to choose that particular microphone to use for your content?
They sent it to me.
I can't take her anywhere.
That's the answer. That's the answer. Well, here's the thing. Okay. They sent me this one too. MV7. I have this one. I happened to make a friend when I was at VidCon 2018. VidCon 2018, and I was there at the booths where some of the people were. There was an Adobe booth, there was a Shure booth, there was a different booth, and I met a rep there. And it was when they were first releasing the Shure MV88, not the 88 Plus, but the 88. It was the first lightning adapter one, smartphone, microphone. And I was like, holy shit, this is genius. This is awesome. And like, it has its upsides and downs, but like, and they kind of like definitely fixed that on the MV88 Plus. But like, I was like, this is revolutionary at the time, because the only other thing that they had at the time that was even kind of close to that was that the Rode one, that the Video Mic Go, that was kind of similar to that. But I remember like looking at the software, looking at the different polar patterns, looking at like the different ways that you could use it, and being like, dude, this is awesome, in the way that it packed up nice into this cute little compact container. And I berated them with questions. I was just pelting questions at them this entire time. Like, does it do cardioid? Does it do like stereo? How do I do all these different things? And at the end of the 2 days, because I went back to that same booth, and the same guy was working there. And I just kept asking him all these questions. Like, tell me about this, tell me about this, tell me about this. And at the end of it, because I wanted to make a video and do a live stream with it, and the reception was really bad. And he was like, oh yeah, sorry, it's not working in here because in those conference centers, sometimes it's just not very good. And at the end of the conference, he just like walked over to me and he handed it to me. And he's like, here, you can make a video on this, so you can just take it with you. and that started probably like the entire relationship was, and I wasn't trying to necessarily get anything out of him. I was just curious about the product and all of the stuff. And let this be a lesson to anyone out there. Like, I think when I was at that particular VidCon, I was less than 800 subscribers, So I was a very small channel, and I was walking around actually with Kimberlea, Kimberlea. And she was the Pop Sockets queen, and people would constantly kind of like stop us and come talk to her. And it was just kind of like noted that she was, if we were standing together, she was why people were coming up to talk to us, right? I had one person that weekend actually come up and actually say, I thought he was coming for Kimberlea, and he's like, are you Shelly? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I watch your videos, and it totally helped me. And there's one video of me, or one photo of me standing next to this guy. I was like, holy shit, we have to photograph this moment. Like, this is the first time all weekend someone has like said something about me and not my friend, which, she had like 200,000 subscribers. I had like 800 subscribers. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is the first person to be like, are you Shelly? And I was like, yeah, I am Shelly. So I have this one picture of me standing next to this guy being like, but, so he gave me this microphone, the Shure representative, and then I made a video on it. And then like many moons later, he ended up we just kept in touch, and every once in a while he would just like, hey, how's it going? And I made a follow-up video, which was the Shure MV88, because he sent me that one too. And then it was maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, something like that. I sent him an email, and I was taking this course, it's not a YouTube course, but it was this other course. It was like a coaching course. And one of it, they do a lot with like manifestation and like kind of like acting as if you were the person who like you're already supposed to be, and like what kind of actions would that person take. So one of the things that I did during this time was like I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, I am going to start a podcast, and I would really, really like to have this microphone, and if you do that for me, I will put it in like the description of all of my podcasts and say that it was gifted to me from you guys, and I would put a link to it from Amazon, and would you be willing to send it to me? And he said yes. He sent it to me. So it was one of those where I was, like where you hit send, and then you're like, hand is shaking because you're just nervous. Like, did I just do that? And I just asked some person for, basically a $400 microphone, be like, will you please give this to me because I'm asking? And he was super nice about it. And he's like, yep. And that's how I came to be in possession of this mic.
That is awesome.
But I do try and pay it forward a lot. So like, my friend Scott Peachy, technically speaking, I remember him saying that he thought that one mic in particular was going to be the Blue Yeti killer. And he was like, I really want to do a review on this mic. I really want to, but like, I don't have this mic. And I was like, actually, I have a contact. And so I made an introduction, and he got a mic, and he was able to do that. And so like things like that, like behind the scenes, if I can make something happen, I will absolutely, like I said, I ride hard for those who ride for me. And so like, I will always try my best to help anyone get any opportunities like that. Or I remember way back in the day when I had made a what's on my iPhone video, but I got reached out to by a company about a phone case grip thing. And they were like, do you want to do a review of this on your channel? And at the time I was just like, no, this does not make sense at all. But I still gave them Kimberly and Zach. And I was like, here are 2 people you might want to reach out to because, and I think they both ended up like getting some samples or even maybe even making a video, but like things like that. I will do that all the time for like my friends if I can, you know, like, cause I just think that's the right thing to do. And I hope that someday, you know, if they're in a position to do something like that back for me, that they would, you know, maybe that's a naive thing to do, but like, I will always do stuff like that for my friends.
That's why you're Shelly. That is why you're a Shelly. That's why the people love you. That's why the people come to see their Shelly because Shelly's awesome and she saves the day. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh my Lord. How have I never asked this question and it just like came to me? How did you come up with Shelly Saves the Day? What is the origin story there?
Oh, okay. So back in the day, you know, I had a beauty channel with my friend. And so that one was called Shelly and Jade. And so I, when I decided to break off and do my own channel, which became this channel, one of the things I thought I might do is I was always saying that I was a savings ninja. Like I will always try and like save money. Like I'll find a coupon code or I'll buy it on sale or I'll like buy it on sale and use a coupon code or like I'm always like, I was saying like, there's nothing better than something you didn't pay full price for, but other people think you might have. Like it works for gifts, it works for like anything. Like if you can save money, I was always, I don't know if it's just like a particular thing, but I'm always trying to save money. So at one point I was thinking about even making some sort of videos that was based around like saving money, like Shelly saves, like saves money. And so I was like, ooh, Shelly saves. Yeah, maybe Shelly saves. And then I was like, saves what? And then I was like, I don't know. And then it became like Shelly saves the day. And I was just like, yeah. And no one will ever know what that means because it's not particular to anything, right? It's not like Shelly saves video editing. Shelly saves like, you know, YouTube explanation. And it was like, it was my way of like having my name as a channel without actually saying what the title like is. It's like a whole weird thing because then I was also like, I had seen this like superhero thing because technically my logo person, the little thing is from, it's from an Adobe stock image. There's a superhero like that, except it looks completely different. It looks a little bit racier. So like we added, me and my husband, like he helped me with this. Like he's way better at all of this graphic stuff. He added like a skirt and like boots. Like he added like a sweater looking thing because like if you go see what the original stock image looks like on like Adobe stock images, it looks nothing like my little superhero person. And we changed the colors, we changed the race and stuff, and it's an entire thing. So I was like, oh yeah, saves the day like a superhero. I'm like, yeah, superhero. And so I also was telling someone the other day, I was like, they had said something about how like they think maybe I'm a feminist, and I'm like I'm not ashamed. I don't think it's a bad thing to say that we should be equal. Like if that makes me a feminist, outspoken or whatever, then sure, yeah. And I'm like, there's a reason why it's a female superhero because I think females are awesome. We can do anything. And you know, like if that makes me a feminist superhero, sure, whatever. But I was just like, you know, so I was like, that's where that all came from. Was like we found the superhero and we put the S on her chest for Shelly, and then we turned it into like a little superhero, and it just became a thing, man. And I knew I wanted to stick with Shelly, and I love alliteration as much as possible. So I was like, Shelly what? Shelly saves. And I'm like, yeah, because Shelly saves, like savings ninja. And then I'm like, yeah, saves what? And then I was like, the day. Shelly saves the day. That's how it came out.
Interesting. Has anybody ever asked you that origin story? It never occurred to me to ask you until just now. I don't know why. I've known you for 3 years and it never occurred to me to ask you that until now.
I know, right? Well, that's the thing is sometimes you just never know things about your friends. I remember like, so I think I told you I had a mukbang video, and I did this whole talk about collaborations and how sometimes they're just for fun. So like the collaboration I do on Tuesdays with Scott, just for fun. Collaboration I did with Andrew Edwards, just for fun. You know, do either of us have food channels? No. So we're doing an Australian candy try on like mukbang thing. And like during that time, you know, he's telling me like, oh yeah, I used to do like, wrestling. Like I know a lot of the WWE guys, or like, hey, I, was the first person online to ever do an unboxing. I mean, just like the random things that you like start to learn about people, like when you talk to Travis McFean, it's like, oh yeah, I used to have like an MMA, like, podcast. And I'm like, excuse me, what? Like how many years I've known you? And like, sometimes these things just like come out, or, it's just like, what? I think it's so interesting because people are so multifaceted, and you only ever see, like 1% of anybody online. And so like the true origin stories of any superhero person, online personality, they're usually so much more complex and like awesome. But you actually have to spend the time to get to know people and get to have those conversations. And I feel like live streams are a good way to do that, because especially on my channel, like the tutorial based, people don't care about any like personal story. They just care about, the steps sequentially getting to whatever they need to. And that's one of the reasons why, like, feeling so stuck inside of a niche such as like how-to tutorials, I had to try and break out and do other content that like fulfilled me as well, because like people were always like, you can see it in the retention. They don't give a shit about me because they know as soon as they get the information, then they're gone. And so this is just like a different way that I can connect with people and have people get to know me a little bit better. So that's why I enjoy doing live streams more than like recorded video now.
I love how she said people don't give a shit about her, but yeah, she's
They
about to approach a milestone on YouTube, but they don't care about you. Okay.
They don't. They don't.
40,000 people might disagree with you, but okay.
But here's the thing. You know how long it took me to get to that point even. And we've talked about this before too. So, Kimberly, we did an entire back to school giveaway. I gained like 25,000 people. And then I spent the next 18 months only ever losing subscribers and not gaining them. So, I mean, if that doesn't F with your head, I don't know what will. Like, and I've said that before. I said, I don't know how many people would continue to show up week after week and make videos when they know that every time they do, they lose 100 subscribers every time they publish a video. Like, it takes a mental gymnastics and fortitude to even get through that, to not just like crumble into like a pile of brokenness on the floor and cry and be like, why the hell am I even still showing up? Because for 18 months, like, negative metrics.
Okay. So what happened though? You said you and Kimberly did a giveaway.
Yeah.
You gained 25,000.
Yeah.
Well, why did you lose after that? I'm confused.
Well, because it was a back to school and makeup giveaway. And that has nothing to do like with my channel. And so every time I made a new video, it was just people who realized they hadn't won the giveaway. And then and can we just talk about giveaways for a second? Because I had like vowed.
Was the giveaway tied to people subscribing to your channel? Is that what happened?
Well, I mean, it's just one of the things that happens. So, she had done a video, and then she said, do you want to be in this? Her and another friend. And I'm still very thankful, because that was great. Absolutely. Because, she was my friend, and we were just kind of doing this. And I saw this huge, massive influx of growth, which was awesome. But then like nobody like stuck around, because as you do, they don't stick around when they don't lose. So then it was just every time you published a video, okay, here's minus 300 subscribers from your video. So that for months on end, every single time you release a video, like, come on. And I have to say one thing about subscribers and the whole milestones and giveaways and stuff like that. Giveaways can be great to either gain subscribers or reward subscribers. I don't think I ever want to do one that is just about like gaining subscribers, which is what that one was, because her audience was huge. Mine was like small. It became larger because of that. But now it's more like I would rather hide a giveaway inside of a video for people who actually watch than try and put it in the title, because also things that happen, people scrape YouTube looking for titles that have giveaway in it. And then they'll actually boost your videos and repost them on their own channel, or like advertise them basically to get watch time. And so like my video ended up showing up on multiple people's channels, and I had to try and do like takedowns because they would just rip the entire video, and because their channel was about giveaways. And that's how some of the people that I met on Twitter actually we became friends, because it was then my channel that had a video taken, but it was other, because that's the entire channel, what it consisted of. So I reached out, because as I do, I don't like it when people mess with other people in weird ways like that, or their money or subscribers or YouTube channels. And so I reached out to some of these people, found them on Twitter, and was like, hey, just FYI, this person boosted your video. I've already filed a claim, but you know, they have your video too if you care, because some of them didn't care because it drove more people to their videos. Some of them were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. What do I do? And so that's how a couple of people and I became friends, was because they had boosted their videos as well. And then, you know, then they started spamming us, being like, please, this was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. I thought it would be okay. We're just driving more traffic. And I'm like, you're not driving traffic to my channel. But it became like a whole other thing too. And it's just interesting because now I see it as like a way. I would love to do more giveaways too, but I did find throughout that experience, because I've done a few, back to school is very important to me because my mom was a school teacher, and so I understand the difficulties on both sides. Teachers don't have enough supplies. The people sending kids to school don't have enough supplies. And so if there was something that I could do to help either side and make someone more happy, then I was going to be like, oh, F yes, I'm going to do this. I find that people are like all hot and heavy and like, oh my God, I love you, I support you, blah, blah, blah. And then like as soon as like, let's say a contest closes, it's where's my package? Where's my package? Did you send it? Where's my tracking number? And I didn't have it as bad as like maybe Kimberlea did, because she had send out more things. But like people, they were like almost like rude about like when they were getting their stuff. But then, and I don't think people understand how much it costs to ship stuff. Because once you have an entire box of cosmetics, it cost me like $100 to ship it to this person that won, because it's heavy, you know, makeup is heavy. And so, and then that was, thank goodness that it wasn't an international, because it could have cost me $300 to ship it to someone. And so people, like, not only that, but all of the money that I spent collecting the products, buying the products, whatever else it was, so it cost me like it could cost me $400 to like send off a box international. And people are like really, they're kind of snotty about it, because then they would be like, where's my box? Where's my package? And then you would see that they got it, signed for it, never once posted a thank you, never ever posted a video. And then like, they just disappear from your channel. So a lot of people, and also will search for giveaway and then just go, and then I would see it. Like you'd go check their Twitter and the only thing they have are like entries into giveaways, or their Instagram is just reposts of giveaways. And it was just like, it makes you feel so like unseen and undirty that I'm just like, I don't even want to do it anymore. So now if I do it, it would be as a thank you. It would be digital items or gift cards, you know, or like something I don't have to ship. It would be like, there would be so many more restrictions on it now that I just like, I can't even bring myself at some points to, because like the whole thing has just left such a bad taste in my mouth. I'm just like, because some people just, man, they're not great. Oh, hey, we got a super chat. Okay, wait, 1 second. Thank you, Dr. Elo, for your super chat, as we're just sitting here talking about why I don't like giveaways anymore. Yeah. Aromatic. Here we go. Oh, this is a short. This one used to be the intro to my podcast. 1 second. Where's my dance break? By the way, if you guys didn't realize, Dr. Elo, the reason why his name is also in green is because he is a channel member. If you guys are ever interested in channel memberships, there's a video that will tell you all about how to do that. Dr. Elo, if you have a question or anything that you want to say, go ahead and leave it and drop it. Or if you have any experience with giveaways or anything like that, yeah, go ahead. Maddie Villa says, Viper, bust a move.
Y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop, man.
She's dressed in yellow. She says, hello, come sit next to... Maybe you're too young for that. You run over there without a second to lose. What comes next? Bust a move. Do you know that song? Are you telling me you don't know Bust a Move?
Oh, yeah, I know Bust a Move, yeah. But I'm pretty sure I'm older than you. At least I think I'm older than you.
Actually not. I'm older than you are. Because I saw that you had posted that you were about to turn 40. I have already turned 40.
What? You no, nope, nope, nah, nope, don't believe it. Nah, man, nah.
Tis
you
true.
Are not.
You're just a youngin'. You're just a
you
young...
are not in the 4-decade club, man. You are not. No.
Yes, and that's why I tell people, like, I'm just grumpy, like, because I'm just like a literally get off my lawn. I am just an old crotchety old lady. I got I got no time. I got no time for people like that sometimes. Like, if I was 25, like, I would have so much more patience, but no, I'm too old for that.
Bruh.
I've been to the circus. I've seen the strings at the puppet show. Like, I know. Oh, see, thank you. I thought you were like in your late 20s.
Next time we meet in person, I'm carding you. This is ridiculousness.
No, it's true.
Right. I'm telling you, Maddie, she's not 40.
I don't even understand where it says your dog cannot poop here. Oh, okay, because you're saying like old lady yells at cloud. Your dog can't poop here. I thought you were like, has Casey come to your house? Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Speaking of dog, where's your little cute dog?
She's here. She's staring at me. Did I tell you that she graduated into a dog collar from her very own kitten harness? She used to wear a kitten harness because she's so small, but she's graduated into a dog collar. It's an extra, extra small dog collar, but she's in a dog collar.
Oh, okay.
Come say hi. Viper wants to say hi. Okay, you talk for a second. I'm going to try and coax her over here. Hi, come here.
All right. So, on this edition of Shelly Thing Today, we are trying to get the poodle to come to the camera. There's some very delicate work that's happening right now on the live stream. So, Shelly needs to step away while she coaxed the poodle into coming in to join us on camera.
She knows. She got this close and then she like ran backwards. She's like, "Oh, you want me to come?" No, thank you.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure you all have seen her dog before. Her dog is the cutest thing.
She's pretty cute. And if you've never seen my dog, my dogs plural, because he is also a very distinguished gentleman.
That's right.
They have their own Instagram because people would be sick of me just posting about my dogs. So it's Cooper and Casey on Instagram. You can see just some pictures of them. Oh, Adam's Exploit says, I thought you said that she graduated into a dog college. No. She is a dog lesson dropout. So I will say there's a dog down lounge. And when I first had gotten her and her brother Cooper, I was like, oh yeah, maybe we could get them into some lessons and stuff. And because they weren't doing very well walking together on a leash at the same time. So I tried to do a lesson, and I think we got through like 3 out of the 5 lessons, and we just stopped showing up because she's not a very good student. Neither is he, but he's old and crotchety and set in his ways, and she's just like not having it. She's like, no. She was a doggy dropout. Hi.
So how old are your doggies?
So Casey is 4 last October, and Cooper is like 9 or 10.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. They're the best, though. They're so cute. You should really get yourself a pet.
I cannot get myself a pet.
Maybe where you're living right now, but like...
Well, I'm gone 10 hours a day, so I can't leave a dog here 10 hours a day by myself.
But aren't you working at home right now? This is when everyone... I've heard right now, this is the best time ever, to get a dog.
I told you earlier I was working at home, but I got called back into the office.
Oh, right.
I go into the office daily now, so yeah, I can't leave a dog here 10 hours a day.
You could leave a cat, though.
Yeah, I could leave a cat, not a dog.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, you again? You're home? They're kind of jerks that way.
Like, scratch every damn thing, too.
If you were, though, would you get a dog or a cat? Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I had a cat when I was little, when I was growing up, but I always wanted a dog, so I would probably get a dog.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. Yeah. Oh, Sam's Life with a Husky. Oh, I'm so glad that you actually followed them, because I think I told you last week in the stream that the dog account, Cooper and Casey, they only follow other dogs. So if it's a dog account that you just followed with, they will follow you back. So anytime I'm feeling blue, and we talked about this maybe last week, but anytime I'm feeling blue, I will look at like Mr. Pokey, who is a hedgehog on a traveling hedgehog on Instagram, because his pictures are amazing. But I will always go to my dog's Instagram and scroll the feed, because you just can't have a super bad day while you're just looking at like only pictures of cute dogs.
Which is why on Prime Day, when Amazon site gets absolutely crushed and people can't get through, Amazon shows a picture of a dog to try to...
Oh, no. There's a lot of history behind that, though. So, like, even some of their buildings, called Rufus, and which was, like... Oh shoot, I forget. There is an actual dog that used to like be one of the first dogs that came to work, and so not only is one of the buildings like named after them, but like one of the earlier versions of the web browser, like whatever app, was named after the dog, and so they always knew that the 404 not found was going to be like different dogs. So it's like there's a long history with dogs. So it's not just like it's been around since the very, very beginning.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
They're very much a dog friendly type of company. But
I still think it's funny though that when things are going when ish is hitting the fan, they bring out the poodle.
Yeah.
They bring out the poodle. Hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, and it's true though. I mean, they're so cute. They're so cute.
Uh-huh.
You can't get mad. You can't get mad. Even when like Casey's being like super like naughty, she's so cute that you're like, oh, so you pooped in here. But you're so cute and fluffy.
And she probably gives you the dog face so you don't spank her.
Yeah. And there are these rules though, apparently. Like you can't spank a dog for something they've done like in the past. So unless you catch them in the moment doing it, they won't like know and remember. So you have to like catch them doing it to then kind of pop them up and be like, bad dog. But like I also feel bad. Like I can't like smack her too hard because she's like 4 pounds. So like I would be like, I don't want to break her. So I'd be like, bad puppy. Like it's about that hard to be like, bad girl. But then I feel so bad doing it. I'm just like, I'm the worst. So
I feel cheated though because normally she's on camera and I don't know what she's doing over there tonight.
No, she's here. She's just being a turd. And then the other one is just sleeping in the bed. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? They're so cute though. They're so cute. But I will say that even as much as I do a horrible job of posting consistently over on her Instagram, I still put her in my like different videos and stuff that I make. I'm trying to do some experiments like with Reels on Instagram and making little videos over there. I don't know if you experiment much with Reels or anything on Instagram, but I'm trying.
I've never done a Reel ever.
Why? Any particular reason why? I mean, even something, because I saw you do a short, and you had like the emojis. Why not like use that and throw it up in a reel?
I don't even post consistently to Instagram, period, let alone Reel.
You post to Instagram all the time because it's always like Flex Tuesday or whatever day. Like I see you posting all the time.
I do not all like maybe once or twice a week if I'm good, maybe not all the time. But I've never done an Instagram story like ever. I think I've only gone live like on Instagram once for like 2 seconds. I just don't do Instagram that much. I need to get better about that.
I mean, not if it's not your favorite platform or not like a platform that you care to be on. I mean, don't force yourself, but
yeah, Shelly, as you know, being YouTube content creators, YouTube is very time consuming.
But I feel like so much of the time, like if you're making a video, like a Memoji short or something like that, it's so easy to put that on then Reels or Fleets or Pinterest or YouTube or like the list goes on and on.
Ever used a Twitter fleet either. The whole story thing just boring to me. I don't use that. Although, as you know, I do short. I think no. Wait, yeah, I do short, but I do TikTok videos. I think you get better at TikTok too.
And that's the thing. It's like you already have the content, so and like literally just throw it up, see what happens.
I don't already have the content. I have to make content for that. I don't already have the content.
Can you subscribe to me, please? No.
Wait, did somebody just add that in the chat? Really?
But they are on Twitch, so yeah. Well, and here's the thing, and I don't like it if you pop up in the chat all of a sudden and say, hey, come check out my channel, or hey, can we collab? I did a whole video about how to collab with someone the right way. And definitely the pet peeves, like showing up and just popping up and being like, hey, do this, or just hey, and self-advertising in your own or like other places. Like, don't do that. I don't know anything about you. Why would I sit there and subscribe to you? Like, no, that's rude. Don't advertise yourself in someone else's live stream. There's etiquette online.
I missed it.
See, and that's me, old lady, yelling at Cloud. You can't poop on my lawn. Like,
no, but I hate that. I hate when people do that to me too. I mean, it doesn't happen much to me, but people will be like, you subscribe. No, I don't know you. I don't know you from a can of paint. Get out of my live stream with that.
Why would you show up in someone's live stream and be like, sub for sub? Let's help each other grow. And I'm like,
Oh.
stop, man. And I've always said, like, you don't see Vera Wing showing up at Michael Kors being like, hey guys, I make clothes too, come check it out.
And the other thing that kind of
That's not
annoys
how
me
it's
about
done.
creators, the other thing that kind of annoys me about creators when they will DM me or try to reach out to me to collab, and I've never seen them in my life. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you never left me a comment. You never been in my live stream. Why would I want to collab with you? Like, who are you? I don't even know you. Who are you?
And I said that was one of the very first things. It's kind of the equivalent of like the "you up" text, and it's the like, hey, collab with me. And I went into this whole tirade about it. And I actually, because I was prepping for my presentation, but I was saying like, one of the ones that I got was like, let's collab, or like, we should collab, or something like that. And you go and you look, and it says like, you have no history. They do not follow you. Like, there is no message history. And I'm like, Doug Houston says, come at me with ice picks, But I'm like, if I have no history with you, and I'm like, here's the deal. I always say, like, people will collab with people that they know, like, and trust, or people that will collab with people that they don't know, like, or trust, if they can get something out of them, right?
Can you repeat that first one, please? Can you repeat the first one?
I said, people like to collab with people they know, like, and trust. People will collab with people they don't know, like, or trust if there's something in it for them.
I got a question earlier today that I get all the time. And the question was, Viper, how do you have a relationship with these big creators like Marquez and Sav? And it's that first thing that Shelly said. People collab with people who they know, like, and trust. They know me because I've been in their communities. I've been in their live streams. I've commented on their videos. I've responded to their tweets or whatever. And they trust me because when they go to my channel, they see that I have a body of work and I post consistently, so they know I'm not no fly-by-night creator. I am there doing my work, putting in that grind.
You've been doing your Friday show for like 2 years, 3 years? Like,
yep.
Consistently showing up, putting in the work, and people see that. And when people also like show up to your lives and leave comments on videos, we recognize people's avatars, we recognize people's usernames, we recognize people, yep. Period. Even if we don't know, like, heart the comment or respond at that time, we know who a lot of our like very consistent people are that show up in our lives. So I said it would be better for you to actually put in the work and comment on people's stuff for 6 months straight, reboost them on like Twitter, actually kind of have a relationship with them way before you ever like ask for anything from them. And it's just, hey, thanks for the iMovie versus Final Cut Pro, made the purchase, thanks Shelly, yay, I hope you love it. Yeah, I just made that video a couple weeks ago or last week. It was about when to upgrade to Final Cut Pro for iMovie. So I'm glad that was helpful for you. And actually what was really, really nice is Renee Ritchie even retweeted that video, which is just really nice, because like he didn't have to do that. He's certainly a much larger creator than I am. And it's nice when people like just support you with nothing in it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have to do that and he does it. And stuff like that happens all the time, but like it still leaves a lasting impression and memory, so that if like 2 months from now, if he needed something from me, of course I'm gonna be like, yeah, absolutely, because like it's not one for the other, but it's like, oh, like you build up almost like currency with other people, and the currency is adding to the piggy bank when it's comments and retweets and agreeing with them or showing up to their live streams or different things like that. And then I think what a lot of people don't realize is sometimes it can take years to build up enough currency before you make a withdrawal. And a lot of people are trying to withdraw from an empty piggy bank, And that's the problem, is like, it's like, I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't trust you, and the only thing you're doing is like wanting things from me. So it's like, I would do it if I was, like I said, if I was Daryl Eves, because he's got his new book coming out right now. You might see him making the rounds on more people's live streams and podcasts and whatever, because he needs a new audience to get in front of to sell more books. But otherwise, if it wasn't a time and season in his life where he wasn't pushing something out, he probably isn't going to be making the time to do those types of collabs, So, like I said, he may know, like, and trust those people, but he doesn't even have to know, like, and trust them to be able to get something out of them. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference. Like, people like Marquez, he'll come and do your live stream because there's nothing in it for him to do it. I mean, he's just doing it because he likes you, or but like it's different because you're also not spending that currency by going to him being like, Marquez, you need to shout me out in one of your next videos on your main channel and blah, 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 and doing all these things with all these restrictions. So I'm saying, like, there's a difference, and people also need to realize that sometimes it can take years to, like, let alone build up currency, but sometimes, like, weird collabs just don't even happen because of scheduling things. But, like, I think just too many people are trying to make a withdrawal from an empty piggy bank. So, there you
go. Speaking of interesting things and people liking you and things like that, you, ma'am, have single-handedly changed my life this year.
How'd I do that? Please tell me. Let's stop talking about me. You talk about me now.
Yes, I can talk about you. Sure.
What's up?
But you single-handedly changed my life. I don't know how you did it or why you did it, but when you either you tweeted me or you DM me with the invite to Clubhouse.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you did that because I don't remember I mean, I don't know if I was maybe acting about it or I don't remember acting about it.
I think you asked about Clubhouse period just on Twitter, and I said I got an invite. Why don't you slide into those DMs if you want one or something? Because I would give you an invite because I know, like, and trust you. But otherwise, you know, other people, I'm not going to do that because some people have asked me, like, hey, can I get an invite? And I'm like, dude, I don't know you. I don't want to put you in my phone book so I can have to add you. But like you, I was just like, no, I trust Viper. So yeah.
So, yeah, Shelly is the reason why I am on Clubhouse. And for those of y'all that are still listening to the chat that have met me on Clubhouse, that she is the reason why you met me on Clubhouse. Because she invited me to Clubhouse.
My smiling picture is at the bottom of his profile.
It is.
You know who else is? I'm on the bottom. I've only given out, like, 3 invites. And you know who they're? You, Travis, and El Jefe.
Nice.
Those are the 3 people, I think.
So it's interesting because I haven't given out that many invites either, but one of the people that I did invite to the platform is Marquez. So yeah, kind of crazy how that works. Marquez is on Clubhouse because I nominated him and sent him an invite, and I'm on Clubhouse because Shelly sent me an invite. 50 degrees separation, baby. Crazy.
So Maddie Villa says, Viper, remember when we were in Laura's Clubhouse room and I found a guy who Shelly nominated too? It was El Jefe. He says, oh my God, El Jefe. Yeah, and so there's the thing is I've only given my stamp of approval to, like, 3 people, or maybe one more, and there's someone I'm in a mastermind with. But that's it, because it is literally a stamp of approval, and I wouldn't put it on someone that I think is going to run amok out there because my name and face are literally associated with them forever on Clubhouse. So I trusted Viper, absolutely. But here's the thing is you still changed your own life. I just get you access to a platform.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have had the assets had you not sent me the invite, so thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You've done really, like, amazing things over there, like moderating all these, like, rooms, and basically people have to, like, well, not only are you, like, the connector, everyone seems to know you, like, I mean, you do the same on your YouTube channel. You know, you're bringing in all these people, connecting all these people behind the scenes, and you're doing the same on Clubhouse, and you're kind of setting the bar for what a moderator should look like over on Clubhouse. So yeah, leading by example over there.
Indeed. Damn, what about that? I about to say something. Oh man, I had a thought and I lost it. Damn, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say that. Right now, I have a not to be announced number of invites to Clubhouse. And I'm just sitting on them because, like Shelly said, I am not inviting just anybody to the platform. You got to be about that business before I send you one of my invites. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. No,
exactly, because you also don't want to give it to someone who is essentially going to waste it by never participating, never giving back to the community. Right. You don't want to throw it on someone who's going to be a wild card, who's going to go ham in some of these rooms and start, like, swearing. Well, every once in a while I throw out a bad word or two, but, like, prolifically, you know, or, like, denigrating women, or, you know, that, like, just, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to someone be like, oh, dude, this person associated with you went a little ham on Clubhouse, and I'm be like, great, now I have to kill someone. You know, like, I'm not about that life, you know? I can't go back to the big house pipe. I can't.
Go back. Oh my God.
Let me make it clear, I've never been to the big house, but it's just funnier to say that. I can't go back. I can't go back. Yeah.
Oh, this has been live and gold. This has been gold tonight. Good stuff.
Yeah, thanks for hopping in. I know it was short notice, and I know you probably are now missing out on, like, you could have been hosting 3 Clubhouse rooms and 2 Twitter spaces. So you came and said hi to me, and I kept you here for a while. And if you have to go, it's totally fine. I appreciate your time. But
I appreciate you. Yeah, we don't chat enough, so this is overdue.
I know, right? I feel like when we get to chat, it's always in the midst of other people.
Yeah.
You know, like, so
Yeah.
it's harder because it's not like you and I one-on-one. It's very much like, hey, we're in the middle of a Clubhouse room with 5 people on stage, or hey, we're in the middle of a Vibe Drive with, 5 other women on stage, which is awesome, by the way, that you do that. So if you didn't know, every once in a while, Viper will do like women of YouTube type or women of tech and throw an extra space and stage for a whole bunch of people to congregate and be together. And I found out that one of them, like Yesenia or Yasmin, I forget her name. She's here in like, she's very, very close to where I live, like in Seattle. And it was just, I would have never been connected with her or like located her if it weren't for you connecting us. So it's awesome.
Indeed. Again, another effect of her putting me on Clubhouse. She meets new people.
Yeah. Did you meet them from Clubhouse? Is that how that?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them, a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah. It is amazing sometimes what the internet can do. You know, like I would not know Issa Does Tech or, Snubs or, several people probably. I was probably introduced through you. So. Isn't that crazy how the world works sometimes?
Yeah, the world is a beautiful place like that.
Well, if you think about that too, like Daryl Eves know you like by first name. The fact that like MKBHD, like, or John Prosser, or like all of these big Renee Ritchie, all these big people in tech or something, and now all of a sudden they all have connections through you too. Like it's crazy. And if you think about that, like that's what the internet can do for you. Literally open up the world and have. I mean, yes, there's still a nuance to it. Like you can connect with anyone, but I'm saying in meaningful ways and having real relationships. But that's the power of being like online and actually being able to connect with people that you either like respect, know, like, trust, and you see online, and you start to build these relationships and realize that all these people are so either real or different or just, more complex and complete than you ever see online. And there's only a few people who sometimes get to have that insight into what it's like to know these people more than what we see on screen. And you're one of them who gets to know a lot of these people.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's funny. I tweeted out that I talked to Marquez earlier in the DM to try to schedule him to. Cause I wanted to. Normally, me and Marquez get together every year. Actually, we get together at this point like 2 or 3 times a year to do a podcast. But I'm like, you know what, Marquez, let's do something different this time. I want to do a Clubhouse room with you, one-on-one, me and you. So we got together early tonight. We get that situated. So that's gonna happen next Thursday night. So I just posted on Twitter that me and him gonna have a Clubhouse room next Thursday, and people are like going kind of crazy over it. I'm like, dude,
awesome.
Where have y'all been? This is not new. Me and him get together like every year. Come on now. Not new.
So I have to acknowledge a couple things. So Adam's Exploit says Viper is the Kevin Bacon of video creators. Like, that 7 degrees of separation, like everyone knows Viper in some way, I think is what he's saying.
Okay.
Jacqueline Schlocker says, on your live stream, there is no info about who the guests are in the description, I believe, and I don't know who they are, and I'm coming in late. So first of all, no. I want to introduce you to Viper, and Viper has a channel, and he can definitely introduce himself. I will definitely come back and link his channel, not only in the description, but leave it as a pinned comment as well, so you can check him out. But he originally wasn't slated to be on the schedule. We were just talking, and then no, it's fine. You popped into the chat, and every once in a while when I see some of my friends in the chat, I'll extend an invitation. Sometimes they are available to come in, sometimes they're not. So that's how that one came in. And so as we were chatting, I didn't have a chance to go into the description and link him yet, but I will certainly do so. Oh, there you go. He left a comment. You can definitely go check out his channel. He does a lot of stuff with Apple type of products, as well as he does a live stream every Friday. I don't know why I'm saying this. You can say it. He does a live stream every Friday, and definitely you've had some marathon ones, like 8 hours, 5 hours. I feel like they're shorter now on purpose so that you can go back to Clubhouse and do your thing. I feel like sometimes you're like, all right, let's wrap it up, people. I got a Clubhouse to do.
No, it's funny. Like, back in my younger days, I used to do like 8-hour live streams.
I
But now,
know. I know.
I've grown up and we don't do that anymore. But
Dr. Elo wants you to know that the man about tech subbed, my friend.
well,
You got yourself a new subscriber. And
man.
Ace Rocks Tech gave you a whole bunch of fire emojis.
Ace is awesome. I'm gonna tell y'all, just like I tell people when I'm on Roberto's live stream, do not subscribe to my channel if you don't like Apple or Apple products or talking about Apple, because that's what I do on my channel.
That is true. Because sometimes if you just collect subscribers but they don't watch, it's actually bad for your channel anyway. So
we don't do that here.
Subscribe if you like those things.
Yeah.
Oh, Jacqueline also said subbed. So I guess she likes live streams and she likes Apple.
If you don't like technology or don't like
you already sent out the warning. She already said she subbed. Don't come after Jacqueline. No. You watch yourself. You watch yourself. You're in my live stream right now. She said that she subbed and she wanted to be there, so don't make her feel bad.
No, I'm good. I'm just saying, like,
that's right. Hey, you apologize.
Don't mess me up. It's funny, like, we were just talking about this earlier about how when we're in the clubhouse room and they'd be like, follow all the moderators. No,
I don't care if you follow.
No, absolutely do not follow all the moderators. What the heck? Oh, I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate it.
Oh, Jacqueline says I'm tech.
Okay, all right.
Also, then that's another strong reason to follow, because Viper is absolutely a supporter of women in STEM. In fact, we've done several live streams on his channel. So, yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Right?
We do not have enough women in tech, so I'm always loving to talk to you.
I know, right? There's just not. And it makes me sad. And I know we had that talk about it too, and I'm just like, y'all, I'm gonna need some more of you to join the fight because I can't speak for womankind.
I think I'm about to throw down a gauntlet this year to all my fellow tech creators. Like, I'm about to challenge all of them to do at least one video collab with women this year, because I don't see that many collab with men and women in the tech space. You need to do something about that.
I think that would be a good, or at least include a woman in all of the collabs, because a lot of them, like, you know how Snubs did like a collection of like 12 creators or something like that. So I was one of those creators, and I don't need a whole bunch of tech creators to be like, oh, I gotta find one woman to do a collab with. But I'm like, if you're gonna do a collab video or a collection like that, at least throw in a couple ladies. Did you hear that? Hi, buddy. Come say hi. That was a dog. Oh, he's leaving. They're leaving. Never mind. They're leaving. They're like, we're out of here. Oh, good for nothings. I buy your food, you know.
Buy your food.
I change out your water. I let you out multiple times a day to go potty. I clean it when it's inside the house. Like, seriously, could I get some respect over here? Like, nope, not at all.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Fallon and Fam Short says, speaking of females in tech, do you have any advice for younger girls on YouTube that cannot afford to buy new tech, but it's goals?
Yeah. Review the tech that you have or they have.
Yeah. There's also, you can take a page out of the makeup book. So my friend Samantha March. So wonderful creator, very, very nice podcaster, author of 7 books that you can find on Amazon, just all around outstanding female, positive inspiration and light. She has a YouTube series that she created. It's called Will I Buy It? And it was centered around makeup items. And she'll tell you that one of the reasons that she created this series in particular is because she was an up and coming beauty YouTuber who did not have the funds to buy all the releases, and, you know, isn't getting sent huge amounts of PR like some of the bigger creators. So she started a series called Would You Buy It? And it showcases photos from like new releases of makeup and stuff coming out, talking about, does it catch your eye? Is it interesting? Is it something you would purchase? And I think it's fine to do something like that even when it comes to tech, because there's so much new tech that comes out. I don't advise people that they buy it for a YouTube channel video, because most of the time, some of those units are thousands of dollars. And to get enough AdSense to cover thousands of dollars worth of tech, you would need a few 100,000 views, sometimes maybe even 1 million views to cover that piece of technology. And it's just not possible. I remember talking to someone once and they were saying like, I'm going to make a video about a television and the AdSense that I make is going to cover the cost of the television. And I was like, that's a great plan. How many views do you get? And he was like, around 1,000. And I'm like, well, here's the thing is like, let's say you make, you know, $10 at most, which is pretty high on a tech, you know, and for 1,000 views or something like that. I'm like, you would need to get like 1 million views or something, or let's just say 500,000 views to be able to pay for that television. And I'm like, are you like kind of comfortable knowing that you could make this video and get 500,000 views? And he's like, no, because I just said my average is 1,000 views. And I'm like, then please don't buy this piece of tech thinking that you're going to pay for it with AdSense. Like, buy it because you want to have it, and this is your new television for your family, and you're going to review it and make lots of videos about it. But like for the express thing of just making it for a video, it's not worth it. Do not go into debt for a YouTube channel. Just review stuff you have, or say aspirationally, like, can I make a video about this? Would I be interested in buying it? Because it's a lot of money. Or if you ever get into a space, you know, like our friend Zach, who sometimes gets sent units to review, makes as many videos as he can while he has the tech and then sends it back to the company, you know, so that's different. So if you can do something like that, and not think about the entire cost of the video having to cover that piece of tech, that's a much better, stronger place to be than, you know, and you don't have to have all the latest tech to make YouTube videos. And I think it's totally fine to, we forget, you know, we're in the Apple ecosystem, let's say, and you're using probably an iPhone 12. But a lot of people, if you're talking to them, they're still using an iPhone 7. Yep. You know, they're still using an iPhone 8. And I think it's okay, just because you want to be in the tech space and you're a younger female, let's just say, it's fine to make videos about iPhone 8 because that's what you have. It's fine to say, hey, I just upgraded to iPhone 14 and this is what's different about it, and I'm still using it on an iPhone 8. That's fine. Make those videos. Or say like, hey, these are the new models. This is me reacting to the keynote. This is me reacting to the new specs. This is me saying, if I were to, you know, let's build my dream computer with the M1 right now, how much would it cost? Like, shop with me, build it with me. It doesn't mean you have to buy it for that video. In fact, I would just always advise, please don't go into debt to make any kind of YouTube channel. But something like that could still be a way to talk about the tech even without having the tech. I don't know. What do you think?
Shelly, you're amazing because you just gave me a video idea. I love you so much.
Oh, what's your video?
How to extend the life of your older iPhone. I definitely had to make that video.
Oh, awesome. See, look at that. There you go. Oh, we got a super chat. Hoodoo TV. Hey, how's it going? It's nice to see you. Hold on. Ooh. Viper, you have to dance. Tell it straight.
Fine.
We're going to go tell it straight. This time you're going to dance.
Fine. I got you. I got you.
So much. Viper, yes, buddy. Oh my god, that was so amazing. I loved every second of that. Everyone who's still watching, anyone who is still watching, first of all, put some clapping emojis for Viper. That was amazing. But you know what I'm saying right now, when you're dancing under the bubbles, under the lights, under the everything, like, people can't really see you as much, so like all of a sudden, like, this still looks pretty good.
This live stream got to go.
No, it was amazing. It was amazing. I'm so glad. I knew that by the time we got to the end of this, I was like, I'm gonna find the right song, I'm gonna find the right filter, it's gonna be amazing, Viper's gonna dance. Like, see, look at all the love that you're getting right now. We got some celebrations, we got some hands, we got some hearts.
That's my Chris Tucker rush hour.
See, he loved Michael Jackson, and like, see?
Right, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, the tips were worth $5 and then some, but that was priceless. Now, I don't want to make anybody ever feel bad, but I will say that if you were to, instead of ever thinking about a super chat. If you ever did a membership, you might even be accessing things like private live streams where I am telling you about how to do things like building your email list, because doing that on my main channel makes no sense. But I did make that video. I'm just saying. Think about it every once in a while.
I know where you tweet, Ace. You better be careful.
Wait.
I know where you tweet.
Ace Rocks Tech, who, by the way, said that he only has given one Clubhouse invite and he gave it to his wife. And I'm like, that's a good one because you should trust your spouse. So he said, run it again. So we got to play a different one. So
I don't know once a lifetime.
You got to do it because the audience has called for this. Oh, there is one called Clubhouse Password. So in honor of the Clubhouse King being in the room, we'll have to try this one. Give me a second.
What?
Give me a second. I'm gonna get the bubbles going. Give me a second. I don't know. It's called Clubhouse. This is from Ace Rocks Tech. You can't disappoint him. This is the most lazy hand thing going. You better start. He better get his full $5 worth, Viper.
Hey, you better dance for him. You don't want to do anyone.
No, he says, run it again for you. It was for you.
For you. I don't know about y'all, but I would much rather see Shelly dance than see Viper dance.
The man paid money for you, buddy.
Oh boy. Oh, this is fun. This is so fun. Crazy. What a
Don't be mad that the live streams on Shelly are just...
I was not expecting
way more fun.
But I'm okay with this.
Hey, no. Ace Rocks Tech, don't make him feel better. He hasn't danced yet.
Twitter face temporary. You're funny.
Oh, man. I have to say, Viper, the man paid good money to see you dance, and you really...
That man does not want to see me dance. He wants to see you
He
dance.
did. He said, run it again. While we were all, like, celebrating you for dancing, because you did dance.
Well, he wanted to... I mean, you are the one who called Shelly Save the Day. He wanted you to save the day.
That's not what it said.
That's
not what it said. Clubhouse King is soon to be the Twitter space emperor. Modern day tech. Hey, Eric, how you doing? How you doing, man? I know better than to invite Eric, though, because every time I do, he's always like, oh my God, I'm just putting my kids to bed or something. So, like, let's just pretend that we went through the formalities of me inviting you and you telling me that you can't, but maybe next time, because we all know you're a liar, because there's every time there's a next time you're like, I can't.
Play phone. Ow. Rough out here.
That's okay. He knows. Next time I see him, if it's something, I'll still give him a hug and be like, hey. The last time that we got to see him and got to hang out with him, we were hanging out at Vid Summit in the party lounge when they ran out of hors d'oeuvres really, really quickly. Do you remember that? And I get a little bit angry because if there's not enough food at a party, if I make it to a party, I will leave party quickly. And like, that's the only reason I went, is because I wanted the hors d'oeuvres. And so they had this little station of desserts and this little station of like hors d'oeuvres, but they didn't plan for people to like, I don't know if people in LA don't eat. As a Seattle girl, I came, I had some hors d'oeuvres, I went back, they were gone, and I was like, sweet. And there were like a couple of desserts left, tried to have a couple of those, like, I don't know. And then they never restocked food. It was just a thing. And then people were just milling around being hungry. And I think we left that party. And then we ended up having like a big conversation outside in the front where the restaurant was, you know, because like the party was in one of those little ballrooms. But like we all left the party. We were like, yeah, we're still hungry. So we had to like sit and have dinner because there was no food at this party.
Yeah, that was kind of important. All right, so I hate to do this, but I gotta go because I need to go do some adult thing. I gotta get myself paid. My lord.
I'm sure you do. I mean, you're on Eastern time, so it's way later for you. I thank you for hanging out with me. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you and what you got on the docket for this week? Because I'm sure Friday and all that stuff. So why don't you tell them?
Oh, where do people can find me? I mean, you can like search Viper on YouTube and all my stuff should come up. I'm pretty much Viper everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Clubhouse. I mean, just type Viper, you'll find me. But make sure you type Viper correctly. That's with 3 Y's, not the 1 Y, not the 2 Y. Viper with 3 Y's, and you'll find me everywhere. Just like the shirt says right there. That's right. Yeah. Woo. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at you. Now you're on the other side. And also Friday, do you have a particular topic in mind that you have set up for your Vibe Live?
No. I never like it's been a pain a point lately. I'm gonna have to figure something out tomorrow.
That's okay, because every Thursday I go live, and it's usually we talk about either video editing or we talk about YouTube type stuff, and a lot of the time I think about what the topic's going to be on Thursday. So technically, because it's not Friday, you don't need to know what you want to talk about until tomorrow.
Yep, that's what it is. But thank you for having me. I love you. You're the best, and I will talk to you on Twitter or whatever we talk again.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for coming. See ya. Thank you to Viper so much for oh, I feel like the thing is still frozen on screen. There we go. I was still under the sea there. Oops, my bad. Thank you to Viper for coming on. I will definitely for anyone watching in the replay, it will be linked as a pinned comment as well as in the description of this video. Oh, and I can put him as a co-host in the title of this video. So originally, we were talking about niching at the very beginning. Have we, in a roundabout sort of way, to kind of close the loop circle on this? How do we feel about niching? Are we a little bit more clear than we were at the beginning of the video? Do you still think you're in a niche? What is your niche? Tell me all the things. Tell me all the things if you're still out there and listening. So I want to know, are you still alive? It still says there are people here, so I want to make sure that you guys are out there and listening. I'm going to refresh real quick and say, Hoodoo TV, by the way, and Fallon, and everyone who super chatted. Y'all are real sweet. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That was very, very nice of you. And I should do all of the YouTuber things that I'm supposed to tell you to do, such as let you know that if you want to hang out with me and see me, you can do so on all of the channels, the places, the YouTubes, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. It's a fun time. And if you like live streams, I go live on Tuesdays with my friend Scott Peachy, and I go live on Thursdays, usually talking about YouTube or video editing, and regular videos on Sundays. If that sounds good to you, you should like this video and subscribe, all that things. And I have to say, special shout out to all of my channel members. You know who you are. You show up in green in all the chats, and anyone who is a platinum level member, you get on-screen mention in every single video. So thanks to TubeBuddy. There you go. Let's see here. Theo, you said you just got here. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. And it says, I think I'm in a niche with legs. Different types of dog videos. Dog videos is still, yes. Okay. So here's the thing. Pets. Pets is still, you could say animals, right? Animals is kind of like the genre, but then you get into like dog videos, dog training videos, like look at my dog, it's so cute videos. Is it, the dodo where it's just feel-good stories about dogs being rehabilitated? I mean, there's still like areas within. So one of the things that you have to think about is as you're starting to go through this whole niching exercise, like, right? Like if I hear one more person say, I'm in fitness, y'all, we know fitness is not a niche, right? Say it with me. We all know fitness is not a niche. If you think about that elevator pitch that we talked about, that 15 seconds that you have to talk to someone, you say, hey, I help NFL combine, what are they called? See, this is why I can't be in this niche. What are they called? Candidates, let's say. So I help college athletes train for NFL combine, right? If you can say that in 10 seconds or less or something like that, then you know you got a pretty good thing. Like I help, first time moms get body back after their first baby. Yes. Okay. And so some people are worried that they're going to go too hyper specific, too niche down, too whatever. But sometimes you will find that if you are very, very specific about who you help and you're very clear about this and you're not, like we said, you're not very clever about all of the frou-frou language that you're using, you don't need to have a huge audience to be able to either monetize it or make a living off of it. So again, I want to talk about my friend Holly. She went into how to get a job at Amazon or other tech companies using the STAR method, which is an interview process type of problem-solving framework that they use in their interview. And so if you think about that, they're able to, she can say like, I help people get a job at Amazon and pass their interviews, using the STAR method, whatever it is. That is very specific. It's gotten to the point, like I said, where now people at Amazon in HR refer people to her videos to be able to help their candidates land jobs at Amazon. That is a very powerful position to be in. And the difference between being that specialist, right? When we talked about, are you going to go get your eyeballs lasered at a LASIK place, or are you going to go get it done at a general family medicine place? You want to sometimes be very clear, very specific, and very specialized sometimes, and you'll be able to dive deeper into that category and make more money. So it can behoove you to be a specialist, because usually you can charge more money and you can be very specific about who you help versus being a broad generalist. So I hope that this is all starting to make sense for you. If it's confusing right now, I totally get it, because a lot of people think, like they said earlier, I'm in fitness, this is my niche, and they never think about going a couple layers deeper. I'm in fitness, I'm a vegan bodybuilder, right? Vegan bodybuilder that does all natural and doesn't do steroids type stuff to help other people train for those fitness competitions and whatnot. So that's a different set of exercises. That's a different type of meal prepping. That's a different type of video. That's a whole other type of customer/category that they're in. And if you don't think about that and you just tell people I'm in fitness, right? I would tell people that most of the time they're not specific enough with who they help, and they get a little clever, like with I help the mindfulness of menopausal women or something like that, whatever it was. And I would always come back and tell you that being clear is always better than being clever. If you have to explain what your clever title is, if you have to explain what your clever niche is, if you have to explain what your clever fan base is, you've lost people. Okay? If it's not clear, you've lost people. Okay? So, Dr. Elo, don't make fun of me when I say hashtag no steroids. Hoodoo TV says, I need a puppy for my videos. I would recommend a puppy for lots of people, because puppies are just the best. They are so the best, right? So I hope that and then the intersection of everything that was with Viper in the middle of it was helpful for all of you out there watching. Yeah. Any last questions on that before we wrap it up here? We may not have tied it up in a bow, but we are closing things down. Right? Any last questions? It says, this live stream was awesome for sure. Oh, thank you. That was really nice. You know what's really funny is I'm bringing the comments up. They're over here on this side, inside of a window inside of Ecamm. And then I have over here the actual YouTube thing pulled up just to make sure, because sometimes I cannot tell you how many times I've gone live and it's live on one, but not like I forgot to hit the double go live button or something because I set it up incorrectly. And it's amazing how the comments are coming from the integrated chat window from Ecamm about 10 seconds sooner than they're actually coming through from YouTube. It's kind of crazy, actually. Kind of crazy. But thank you, Hoodoo TV. Oh, I'm glad, by the way, that Final Cut Pro video worked out for you. That's awesome. Yes, good night to Dr. Elo and Adam's Exploits. And yes, okay, awesome. We'll play a song to boogie out, and I will see you guys on Sunday for another regular video, and the next Tuesday for another episode of Would You Buy That with my friend Scott Peachy. And then Thursday, if you guys have a topic that you want to see as well, you should leave a comment on what you want to cover, because obviously you already know the inside secret that on most Thursdays I don't even know what I want to talk about. for the most part. So if there's a topic that you really want to cover, then make sure you leave it as a comment, because I'm always looking for things to talk about in the realm of YouTube, analytics, or video editing, that kind of stuff. So if you have stuff, let's talk about it. Okay, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me. I will see you all in a video very, very soon. Bye, everyone.